Horror Movie Podcast. Big episode 135. Big. We haven't done one of these kind of shows in quite a bit, and it's it's a big show. 3 movies. It's a big month, obviously, Women in Horror Month, and for that particular reason, once again, we have big time guests. So we are going to talk about all the wonderful things they do in the podcast world in just a moment. But I'm Dave Z. I'm here with Brandon and Christian. Wow, old school intro. And special guests, Carly and Lacy. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Cagney and Lacy. Woohoo! Sorry.
And would that be a yoo-hoo? Cagney and Lacy would be like, yeah. It was a great joke, but.
No. Did you guys ever hear the thing like, you're either a woohoo girl or you're not?
Well, I'm a woohoo girl.
It might be an Iowa thing, but anytime like when I was younger, I remember I went up and I was ordering a drink at a bar, and a guy came up and he goes, "Are you a woohoo girl?" And I was like, "I don't know what that means." And he's just like, "Just wait a minute." And like the next song came on, and I think it was like, "Yeah" by Usher. I go, "Woohoo!" He's like, "Yep, you're a fucking woohoo girl."
What a line.
I didn't understand the reference. I felt really stupid for a minute. So.
There's only one way to woo. They say it in one of our movies.
That's how she met Dan Chase?
Yeah.
Are you a woohoo girl?
I think everybody knows how I met Woohoo Dan by now.
Yeah. It's the stuff of legend.
Yeah.
So welcome again.
Yes.
So happy to have you guys here. And, because it's Women in Horror Month, we thought maybe if there's anything you'd like to say at all about it, have at it. If not, move on. But we figure, it's been that kind of thing. That's what we did last time, too. And, I'm not a very good host sometimes. I don't like questioning people about things like that. Like for real. I don't like saying, okay, I can ask questions like, here's 5 questions. What's your favorite horror movie? When's the last time you drank a shot of Soho or some shit? Well, just stupid shit that people like to ask questions, right?
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
Wait, Soho is not even a drink. I should have said SoCo. Excuse me.
Yeah,
anyway.
Like Soho.
All right.
South
Leave me alone.
That's like coals in the fire.
But it's.
Hey,
but
we
it's
ask
not
questions on our show. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not good at asking them. I love being asked them, but I'm never good at presenting them to other people unless somebody else prepares them for me. That's why I can never do interviews. Like, I had plenty of opportunities. Babe? No, I'm a woohoo girl.
You're a woohoo girl, not a Soho girl?
So
I don't like being asked questions. I get nervous, and then it'll be the simplest question. I'm just like, I don't know, and then I come off as really boring.
Why don't you like being asked questions, Carly?
Because
I got it.
Right. Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
that was a perfect Brandon joke. Here, I got a question for you. Smashing VHS tapes, yay or nay?
Nay. Actually, JP was I didn't know that you made that video, and JP was like, "So what's up with Christian like destroying VHS?" And I was like, "What?" And then I said you used to be my favorite exploding head, but now you're like, you're not even on my radar at all.
Favorite?
What?
Well,
Christian seems to be everyone's favorite for some reason.
I think he's the underrated of the heads.
Is he? I feel like I'm the underrated.
No, I think you're the overrated.
No, you're just like the
Yep. That's about right.
Wait
so
a minute.
No, I took a lot of heat for that, man. I went in. I was just telling the guys, I went in with the bomb on me in there. Thank God I wore the hat or the wig and mask, which got me a lot of flack as well. And I smashed a fucking fake tape. Well, it was a real VHS tape. It wasn't even what and they called me out on it, and they still said, "Why are you doing this, loser?" I'm like, holy shit. And I got like 200. It was like I felt like fucking Elias at the end of Platoon.
I would have told you not to smash a fake tape because they're going to spot it. I didn't have time to even I didn't know that's what you were going to do. But I mean, Carly, you have to know the story. You've listened to the show. You know what, about what these guys were doing. And I'm sure you listened to the episode when he said it, when he says, son of a bitch, I'm going to just make a video and smash
Right, yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I didn't notice in the group that he actually posted one, and JP's like, do you not pay attention to Exploding Heads group? And I was like, well, I didn't see that. And then I was pretty angry, because I'm a big fan of collecting VHS, and I feel rather disrespected.
Well, and I think honestly, that's what the point was, not to disrespect you. It was aimed at a few, but like I said, and I've said it in the chat, it's like I took a shit in their house, and
right, yes.
Of course I brought it. I mean, I there's no excuses. I know what I did, but
Right.
I'm like, okay. I mean, I did it. It's there, and then maybe I can return to being your exploding head afterwards.
You sound like a president who like slept with a bunch of girls, and you're trying to be like, I did it. I mean, I did it.
I did sniff the VHS before I smashed it, so I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Clinton, then, at least.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, Lacy, did you have an opinion on this? Did you even know what was going on? I mean, it was a good segue into it.
I'm so sad that you broke, Carly's heart, because I know she is a big VHS collector. And why the fuck are you smashing VHS tapes?
It was
I'll
a
tell you
joke.
why.
What do
This
you
is
mean
the
it's
story.
not even for like a purpose?
Well, wait a minute. It's for a purpose. It's to mess with the
joke.
people. Hold up. It's to mess with the people that messed with me. He's really doing it. The whole thing started because he's such a good friend to me. Because I won't argue back with people or anything like that. So I'm in the VHS group. I'm collecting myself. They're all over the fucking place here. Okay. So I have all these VHSs, but
Oh, you're not a neckbeard or whatever the hell they call you. You don't.
I know. Oh, by the way, let's show them. If I'm such a neckbeard, look, what do you see over here? Are those fucking VHSs or not? Yes, I got fucking VHSs, asshole.
I don't think Levi's a Patreon, so I don't think he's gonna see that.
We'll see this in 3 years, and he'll say, "Oh, damn it."
Yeah, C's gonna come into your house, David, smash all your shelves.
What's with the ridge, Chris? Shut up, get out of my way, Dave.
Well, I got a joke about it. Anyway, I'll tell you that in a minute. Okay. But listen, Lacy, this is really what happened in a nutshell. I collected VHS. I've been doing it for 4 months, and I collect them for display purposes. Because when the store closed in my area, it was the video store that closed. I bought a bunch. I was given a bunch of shelves. So I started putting some of my cooler looking Blu-rays and DVDs on there. Most of them that look like the old school VHS. Then I started collecting the Friday the 13th, just Friday the 13th VHS. And one thing led to another. I said, you know what? This doesn't seem genuine enough for me. I want 100% nostalgia. I want video store. I don't want Blu-ray store. So I started collecting the VHS. So this is what I'm doing. They're having fire sales over there. Everybody buys it once. They offer, they trade. And I've been part of this community, and it's been peaceful for a couple months. Well, about a month ago, I made the mistake of saying out loud to somebody that I collect for the purpose of displaying them. I don't really watch the VHSs. And it was only a few of them, but it was like 3 or 4 guys. They fucking tore me apart unmercifully. I became the butt of their joke. What's this guy? What are you doing? How are you even in? Why are you in this group? So they were saying all this fucking shit to me. And I was like, hey,
I got defensive.
Pardon me?
We went in like a half an hour. It's in another episode. We talked. We went through. Right. Dave went through like post by post. Long story short, I got defensive. I'm going to write this by wronging it even more.
So how?
And it's fine. And so Lacy, you know this about me. We've had discussions about this. I won't argue with people online. So whatever they say, I just say one thing. I'm like, well, we all share a hobby here. I guess it doesn't matter why, but if you guys have a problem with that, I'm sorry. I go, you should just be happy we're all collecting. Right. And they wouldn't stop. So they started screen capping what I said about we're all collectors here. I'm just being happy and I enjoy displaying it. And that became like the fucking, it was like, what's his name? Like Gerbil Boy in fucking 22 Shots. I became that to them. And they kept talking about my post and putting it up.
Don't worry, I'm Gerbil Boy now.
Now, she's seeing this and getting angry about it.
Trust me, again, I'm Gerbil Boy right now.
It's so stupid. That's like maybe the stupidest thing. Like, you're still collecting just because you're not watching. Is that why they're getting mad?
Yes, that's why they got mad. Like, I shouldn't be spending the money on people that would be. Why are you spending your money on this when someone else could be buying it and enjoying it more and actually watching it? That's their deal. And they're fucked up. Yeah.
Like, you're a collector. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
collect
this-
tapes, but I'm not gonna watch Psycho on VHS when I have the nice Blu-ray set. Like,
Carly,
this is
you're
what we're
such a
talking
neckbeard.
And I've got a few
I
too.
shaved this
Few.
morning.
Not a lot.
Did all of the Screams because they have, Dave, you actually even helped me find a couple.
Yeah, the blue. Yeah.
The like face, the faces. Yeah.
The blue, yeah, I
It's
didn't
cool.
have any of those, and I wish I had collected them when they first came out because they'd obviously be in better condition. But I had to have all those, and I'm never gonna fucking watch the VHS of them. I mean, I have 6 of the same movie now, so
Yeah.
it's different covers.
See, I like them
See,
for signing. But like, I go to conventions and I get my VHS tape signed instead of like, a DVD or a poster. I think it's cool to like. I have the Scream. I think the one with Drew Barrymore or something, and I got that signed by Nev Campbell, and that's cool to display. I think that's
How did
a
she
good purpose for
feel
them.
not signing her own face?
She was very sweet, so she did not mind.
No, I loved her too. She was cool.
Yeah, she was. I was very happy that she was nice because I would have been devastated if she
That's
wasn't.
very-
I know.
Yeah, like, I'm always worried.
We always do it. Like
You
I've
don't
got the Friday the 13th. That's it. I'm not going to collect a massive amount. I've got these. They're like, show me your top 5 tapes. Like I can't make a comment in there disparaging anything because some guy was trying to sell Nail Gun Massacre for 200. I actually really don't care. I'm just like, that just seems ridiculous to me. And I got called out on that and questioning it. And that was it. So the tape actually, I put a stupid introduction on it that shouldn't even have had an introduction. So just put the tape down, said Levi Etheridge, boom, and smashed it. Done. and that should have all been in. I ad-libbed something at the beginning that really made no sense. And then I was getting called out on that. And then they're like, you failed at even the purpose of the tape because the tape is a fake. Why even post this? You're a grown man. I'm like, yeah, it's all true. It's all fucking true.
I couldn't tell by the video that you were a grown
I'm a
man.
grown man. Why am I podcasting? Why are you skating around in an ice rink? Why are you singing into a microphone at a rock band if you're 50? It's just people do different shit. Age is just a number. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? It just drives me crazy. So the goal was exactly that. Like, fuck you guys. And that's it. And
Right.
and again, trust me, I got it back tenfold, so it's fine.
And I'm probably gonna make my own. I have an idea, but my video is just comedy. I'm gonna do something. I mean, his was comedy too, but mine's going to be with like, it's gonna be spoofing like another horror movie, and like I have this idea in my head, and it's gonna be done POV style. And I have like 6 or 7 VHSs that I'm never gonna watch because they got replaced by better ones. So they're just kind of sitting in my closet. So they're going to waste anyway. So I'm probably just gonna sacrifice them in like one video just to do it. I mean, Carly, I'll tell you what they are, and if you want them, I will gladly send them to you. I don't care. Why not? Why would I not want to help you? That's
This
fine.
guy.
Of course, I'll show you
guys
what they're
know-
mostly Stephen King ones. So if you need any of them, I think there's like a Carrie in there. There's like a fire starter, things like that. So I'll tell you what the
I
titles
have
are.
both of those
Firestar.
on VHS.
If you don't need any of them, then fine. Then I'm going to smash them. But of course, I'd rather give them to you than have them go to waste.
Don't
Obviously.
you guys know in order to make comedy, you guys need to be funny?
Yeah. Well, that's what I got.
Yeah.
I got like that.
But it's funny to us.
No,
100
the fun,
but that's-
the
It was
funniest,
made for our group, except for Carly and JP, but it was made for the core of our group. And the people that are kind of in on the joke on this side, it's just I went in and it was just boom, boom. I was like Oliver Twisted. I was like, please, sir, may I have more?
dude.
It was-
Your video, the way you come in, like you just discovered a camera that was recording, and then and then when you leave at the end, not only the way you walk off, but you look to your left.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's he looking at?
that video. That was just the, because I literally hit record. I hit record and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not going on. I got to go on with a mask or something. A, I didn't know how the tape was going to smash. B, I didn't really want to be like without a mask. Let's put it that way. So then I put the wig on. Well, that backfired on me too.
Oh, the wig was gold.
Violated for that. Anyway,
Well, actually, it was
fuck,
red.
it's out there. It's done.
Yeah, but what do you
so be it.
expect, see? If somebody came into our world and,
That's
and
what
made
just-
did something making fun of like us, they got guys that
Started
look like
smashing
us
our
and
patrons.
they said shit.
They
Our
had
people
they had the
would say
Ram
shit.
Man in front of an ISIS
said-
sheet and started smashing him with a wrench. We wouldn't be happy either.
Yeah. It's $3 lost a month. I'm kidding, Ram. You know I love you. That I said this argument earlier, and I said it in the chat. That's exactly it. Like, I get it. They're like, what were you expecting? You thought you were going to win us all over? I'm like, no. I never thought I was going to win any of you over. That's not it. And they're like, oh, this is a great way to market for your podcast. I'm like, it wasn't for that either. But it seemed to have worked in a backwards sort of way. We got a nice negative review now. So it's all good. It's all good. It'll all work out in the end.
What are you going to do?
Unless you want the tapes, Carly. They're not that great, though.
Honestly, I'm not, like, I don't order tapes online. I'm not going to buy Nail Gun Massacre for $200. I'm not stupid. I just like the thrill of going to thrift stores and finding VHS, like, for horror movies, because they're hard to find around here, especially. So I like the thrill of it. And I'm like Dave, I like the cover art on some of them. And I do watch them, but I watch them and then I put them on my shelf, and that's pretty much it. Like, I don't sit there and I'm like, oh, time to pull out my favorite VHS, and because I don't have like an old-fashioned TV or anything, so I'm watching it on my HD TV, and that obviously doesn't look good. So I'm not. The only time I ever ordered tapes was when JP and I were going to do this YouTube series that, of course, failed for 12 Days of Christmas, and I had to order all the Silent Night Deadly Nights because they weren't on Blu-ray or DVD at that time.
A JP show that failed? What?
Right, yeah. I think we made it. I think we recorded 7 of them. It was like 12 Days of Christmas, and he waited to the last minute, and he only uploaded 5, and one of them was uploaded in February. So that whole idea, like, that was just like a waste of my time. But yeah, I'm not a psychopath, and I think the people in those groups are definitely a little bit crazy. Well, so I stay away.
That's it. Everything you said is exactly me. I've got some. I've watched them. Dave's like, you even watched them?
Yeah.
Every time I get them, I watch them once. Then I put them on the shelf, and that's it. I went in. My mistake was making. I should have just not said a word. But I had to comment because I said I'm not stupid. I would never pay that. Pretty much, slightly different verbiage, but that, and I got nailed for it.
Yeah.
But no pun intended with Nail Gun Massacre. But that's it. And that's the end of it. I would really not like to talk about this anymore because it's just going to make me go and film a video while we're recording.
Maybe you should
do it live.
Like, just
do it live.
Smash it over your head.
Now, were they certain movies that like you picked out?
This one was because of the Nail Gun Massacre situation. There, it was Nail Gun Massacre. But it was literally what happened. I don't have Nail Gun Massacre because I'm not crazy. So then I just
because the movie is a fucking piece of shit. That's why.
I made a bootleg of it.
Nail Gun Massacre.
Oh, do you?
That's it.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
It was fun for like a one-time watch.
I saw it in fucking 1986. So I mean, what can I tell you? I don't know, and I never want to watch it again. So to me, in my memory, I was like, well, I don't need to see this movie again.
With the smashing of that tape, Dave.
I'm okay with what he did because he did it. He did it for me.
Yeah.
Because I won't fight and I won't argue and I won't get into it. And he saw that this was going on. They were picking on me and I wasn't responding. So he decided, and I'm a grown man. I don't care if they're fucking picking on me. I don't care.
He's like, now that the heat's off me and Christian's hated, let me go back in there and post my video store.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes in with the friendliest post last night, and people that are ragging on me are like, yeah, I like it. It's a good post. I'm like,
yeah, but these people know who I am too. They saw me defending you and they made fun of me saying that I was your only defender. So I have been in there on your behalf, just saying, nothing mean, just saying, well, there's 2 sides to the story. Who knows? And you know what I mean? Like what I said, like Ted, I won't even say it. You don't want to talk about it anymore. I made a post yesterday and I made a post today, and this is how they responded. So it was like I said something. I put up the picture, and this guy says, I gotta say, when you guys see another person digging in the VHS section, say hello. We're folks. And that's what I said. We're all collectors. We're all buddies. We're in the same thing. So I said, that's what I've been saying. Then I said, who cares what we collect them for? And if we watch them or just display them, we're all collectors in respective format. So now Jeremy comes in, Chapman, your buddy, and says, Dave Z, box art is not a format. The tape is the format. He tells me. And then I tell him this.
Like, VHS art is some of the coolest shit out there.
No shit, right? That's what we love it for. And that's what, you know what I mean? So, and this is what
it's original. It's not like it's like a reprinted copy on a Blu-ray disc.
Right. It's
I mean,
And
It's
Christian,
just circles.
Christian,
Yeah.
I want you to know that I would be in there in a second defending you if I thought any of those comments were out of line or not
Yeah, I
true.
know. I do.
Like I'm just like, it's like I
I'm
agree.
like, Brandon, what the hell are you doing in that group? Because Brandon's been anti-VHS. I go, why did you join? Get out. He's like, I'm in that group. The guy's been in the group for 3 years.
Yeah, I joined in 2018.
You guys are in the group. You see everybody's in the group. It's crazy. No one's posted a thing. They're all just in this group.
No, Brandon's hair
So-
looks like he's the one who snapped and just decided to randomly
I'm gonna post a picture of my neck beard.
smash VHS tapes.
I'm posting my neck beard.
Right, Nick. I just want to say that Marco came in, guns a-blazing, Marco from Finland.
Yes.
And now it's officially hashtag fuck that Finnish fuck. He's just such a good guy. Now I love him. I love him. to death.
Right?
We're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun story.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You
And
guys
that's it.
came around. He loves you. You love him. He got in there, and man, it's great. So honestly, some good things came out of this. And check it. When you're in that group, the movie Misfits, whatever the hell it's called, did you notice how many screen caps they have of other people and issues they've had with them? So
Yes.
obviously,
Yes.
this group of people are just toxic people. They like to stir shit up. They're so mean. Like somebody posts something like they're new to
Yep.
the game, and they post a picture of
Oh,
ET or something else that isn't really worth
That
money.
was
and
there
they'll
was
say,
ET. ET,
Okay.
Babe. Those are the two most recent ones.
okay, and these people are being genuine. They put things instead of saying, "Well, these things aren't really worth money," or just even ignoring the chat. They want to get in and say, "Oh, this and that." They want to be condescending to anybody that isn't 100% in the know like they are. Those are the kind of people they are in that group, and it's just, I mean,
Raven's
come
got
on,
ET.
man.
Spells it.
Sounds like
Oh, it's
Levi's balls.
ET was actually my very first VHS tape, so that's kind of crazy.
Is it really?
Yeah, my uncle got it for me for like my 3rd birthday.
I just
Oh.
bought it off Dan Chase last week. You better go make sure it's still there, because
Well, I don't have it anymore.
I know.
Of course.
I bought it off Dan Chase last week.
No, I do have it. It's just like in a box somewhere. Like I have a few
No, it's
VHS
not.
that I kept. And that's one of them because it's the first one that I ever had. I was one of those weirdos that would put Scotch tape on like just like a little corner, and I would number my movies. Because I'd seen other people do it. I don't know why I did that at the time. Well, I used to have I was my own personal Blockbuster to my friends. So I had like a whole little log, and I would rent out my films for 50 cents. And so I had their name down, and I would charge them late fees if they didn't give them back in time, so they'd get a 50-cent late fee on top of it. So I think I made a total of $3 doing that. But yeah,
Dave does that now, but they're all imaginary people at his video store.
AC, what would your
It's like
video store be called?
Pardon me?
What would your video store be called?
Oh, it'd be called Video Factory, just because that's the store that I grew up in, and I actually have a sign from it over there. So it's just got to be Video Factory out of respect and nostalgia, you know.
And Brandon, yours would be Romantics?
Mine would be Video Zeds. After my friend Dave Z.
Christian, Smash Tapes?
No, I would go video because it's a big joke on our show.
Of course,
'Cause
yes.
that-
You got to.
It was actually the name of one of the video stores growing up, one of the first, and Dave thought it was funny because we always seemed to just duplicate the word to make a store name. Pizza, video. There we go. Franchise made.
Oshawa,
Yeah.
Ottawa.
But did you know that, Lacy? Did you know that there's a place in Canada, one's called Pizza, and the other place is called Video?
Oh, no,
Not
Michael
anymore.
was just referencing like Little Caesars. Like
That's what I think of pizza.
No,
Yeah,
Right.
right?
they actually stole that from Canada. But the store in Canada was first, and it was just called Pizza. So there would be nights that Christian would go to Pizza to get the pizza, and then right after he'd go to Video to get, I don't know, maybe 3 videos, maybe 1, I don't know.
So there'd be
Did you ever
no
get 2 pizzas? Did you ever get 2 pizzas at Pizza and then go rent 3 videos at Video? Like, what's
It was a possibility, Dave. I don't know. I can't remember.
would've-
Yeah,
Is
most
there
likely.
a chance you said to your mom, "Mom, can we rent a video from Video that gets a pizza for Pizza?"
There's a damn good chance. I would say that to my mom right now, actually.
Oh man.
You think I'm crazy, but I'll say it.
You think I'm crazy? I want to go to Video.
Oh man.
All video
So, you
stores
know-
back then had stupid names. I had Video Plus, Video Is. Video Is. I don't even know what that is.
IS or IZ?
IS.
Oh, IZ would be better. Video is.
Maybe it was IZ. Video Is.
Yeah.
Easy Video.
Easy video. It's probably porno, right?
I think all of them had porno. I love.
See,
Oh
no.
man.
I never had porno in any of my video. We had Video Factory and we had Movies Plus, and they were just regular. The only time I got into porno was there was a place down. It was called something Books and News or something was the name of the place, and it was some place downtown in like Niagara Falls that you had to go there and rent porno. It was only there. But again, we're different age barriers, so I'm talking about through the 80s. I didn't rent any porno until like the 90s. 90, 91. I remember Christmas Day, I got a VCR in the morning. It was a present for Christmas for my parents, my very own VCR, Christmas Day. And guess where me and my friend went Christmas Day evening? It was open. We went to the fucking porno store. I go, oh, we got to go. We went and bought porno.
Did they have porno at Video? Oh,
No,
look,
I
JP decided to stop by. Carly, that's nice of you to give him a neck massage.
It's funny because I really give him neck massages.
I used to work at a video store, and there were, there's a porno section, like it, you go in the back, or whatever, and it was always so like awkward and like creepy because it was always like a certain type, and then you'd get like a random type that you didn't expect to like go in the back corner, and then come back up with like the humpback of Notre Dame.
Indian people.
Like I hated it. I was like,
Indian
I don't
people.
wanna touch
They're
these.
notorious for that.
I didn't want to touch these tapes though, or like the DVD. They were DVDs.
Yeah, what do you do with them? You're like
And like this
Have
is
a
like
special
pre
cleaner.
in your elbows? Yeah.
We didn't have like gloves or anything, so you have to
Scrub up.
Yeah, it was.
Put on the
It,
gloves. We're gonna put this back.
That
See,
is
that's
so sick.
gross.
It's stuck in his
gross.
hand. It's stuck in your hand. You're like pulling it back and forth. Like, I just got to check this guy out.
I worked in video stores for about 6 years, switching around between different video stores, and I found that Indian people always came into the video store with their kids, little kids, holding like their daughter's hands, and they would always come up and say, "Do you have porno?" Always.
That's fuck.
Always.
Wow.
Sorry
That's
to,
what happens
sorry
when-
to stereotype the Indians, but
Native Indians or from India?
was it men and
Yeah,
women?
yeah,
What are you
Brandon,
There's no way
the
it was
hell-
women.
Here today.
It
Wait,
wasn't
what?
women, right?
Is someone asked it? What? Huh?
Lacy was asking if it was men or women, right?
Oh, men.
Only men.
The only women
Always.
I know that have rent porn were the ones that were doing it with me. They'd say, okay, let's go rent. I was never in like a porn
couple
shop.
thing.
You're not enough
Yeah.
of a man, Dave Z. We need an aid.
I've never like been in the back of a porn shop and like just a random woman walk in, and if they did, they were always with a boyfriend or whatever, with another guy. I've never seen a female just by herself, walking down the aisles in a porno shop, unless it was a different store where they sold toys and things. Because in Vegas they had these big, huge stores. They're called the Adult Superstore, and they sold everything, and they would just have walls of toys for females, walls of them, and everything. And so it was like, and they also had movies, so it was a big, giant, almost like a warehouse. It was crazy, but See,
Now
that's
hard.
a fun date night. That's a fun date night. You got a crazy date.
That's a fun date.
Well, it's true. You got a crazy date when you're hanging out, and you go to the video. You go to that store to get all that shit. Like, okay, well, this girl's
I've done
pretty
it.
wild. See, so it was a crazy night probably, or
Alright.
maybe not. I don't
Let's
know.
get some
Back in the
popcorn,
day, yeah.
some
Yeah.
popcorn, some peanut butter cups, that porno, and a pocket pussy. All right, let's go. This is gonna be a fun evening.
Well,
I love it when my friend would do it. Sorry, Lacy, what were you
Oh,
saying?
I was just saying that mine didn't involve a pocket pussy.
I should hope
Brandon's
not.
did.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. It still does.
I make my own.
I was just saying, my friend would always go do it, and he'd come back and goes, "This one looks good." I'm like, "How does it look good? What difference did that box make over that one over there?
The
Was
actress.
it the title? Like he didn't know the actress. He was just, this
Oh.
one looks good.
This one-
It's box art,
think
baby.
he
Just like
sniffed-
horror.
Yeah.
Just like horror VHS. You rent it because of the box art. Same thing with the pornos.
Did you say he sniffed it?
Yeah.
Salty, just like the
Oh.
last one. Salty.
Whew, let's
Well,
get
that's
off.
what I did the show, the sniffing.
I just have to ask, is
Really
anyone
exploding
else
this episode?
upset about Pornhub deleting all those videos? Like, I feel like I'm the only one who that.
Devastated.
Okay.
I don't even use
They
Pornhub
delete.
anymore. I switched to
What-
X
what you
videos. They
talking-
deleted everything because they had so many issues with underage porn,
Yeah.
with rape videos. They deleted their whole database and like started from scratch. You have to be super verified now.
Yeah.
What?
I switched to X videos.
Is that a good thing? You guys seem to be disappointed by this.
Yeah, I can't get off
Well,
anymore.
not the rape stuff, but like it just they had to delete everything. Couldn't they have just like
Yeah,
deleted
okay.
out?
I didn't even know
Really?
this story.
Me neither. I don't know what they're even talking about. So Pornhub doesn't
I
exist
know.
anymore?
Oh no,
No,
I
they
feel gross.
exist. They exist. You just have
When
to
did this happen?
like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I don't
within the
know when
last
it
couple.
happened. I just know I logged. No, I don't have a login. I
I
mean,
love
I
that.
went on there one.
Nice.
I loved it.
All my earned badges were gone.
No, no, I went on there. I swear. No, I don't do. I don't
It's
comment.
okay. Own it.
Really,
You
that
can
was
admit
awesome.
it.
No,
We're
I don't
doing
have
this. We're
one
doing
on.
this.
Don't say it's okay. I don't have
I
one. I swear.
believe you. I do believe you. When it comes to
I
Carly,
believe you too.
100%
Her
believe you.
password is
I-
JPJ.
No,
JPJ.
I'm just kind of baffled that Carly like even goes onto Pornhub. Like that's not something that's ever like crossed my mind when thinking of her.
Have you
I
seen?
have.
Have you seen who she dates?
Is it official?
What do you mean? Is it official?
Oh, they're married. Sure, it's official.
Well, I know like they shared a steak on Valentine's Day, but
Yeah,
like
my-
Yeah.
Pregnant right now, but yeah, no, it's not official.
JP don't,
It's unofficial.
JP don't cook steak for nobody, so it's official.
I know you got a good reason that you were on
Leave her
Pornhub.
alone.
I know
live her
what the-
alone.
there's a good reason. What's the reason? I know it's gonna be good. You wanted to see the porn, the parody of Nightmare on Elm Street, you know?
On
Or
the
something?
Pornhub?
Yeah.
No, I wanted to watch porn. And
Okay.
my favorite videos were gone. And I was like,
Favorite.
everything is like really verified. Like I noticed the little check marks and I was like, what is going on? And then I went on Google and I went out of incognito and went on Google on my phone. And then it was like, so they had to
work phone.
delete everything because people were getting raped and stuff on there. So it was
Yeah, that's not.
really
that's not
harsh.
cool. But I
Horrible.
understand when you get to the drop down menu and you're like, I'm trying to like cum guzzlers. It's not there anymore.
Right.
That's upsetting to me. That is
Then
upsetting.
I just went to bed. Like I was
I
like,
take
what do I?
offense, Yeah.
Pornhub.
Gotta go to X videos. X
That's what I
videos and
did.
start all over.
That's
Build
what
up
I
your
did. I
library.
switched to X
Yeah.
videos.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I've been X videos
Physical
for
media
years.
is so important, you guys.
Pardon me? What's important?
Why physical media is so important.
No
Pornhub,
shit.
Pornhub could go down at any time.
Yeah,
Start
Pornhub
like-
should start a video store.
It's so much money though to buy like a porn when you're just gonna use a 10-minute scene now and again. That's
10
the
minutes?
problem.
10 minutes.
10 seconds, maybe.
I never turn on the 10-minute videos. It has to have like at least 17 minutes.
Yes, mine's 10 to 20 because you have the thing on there. It's true. I
Mine's
won't watch
definitely
anything
20
less
to
than
30,
10.
but I skip the first 10 minutes and I'm done before the last 15.
Yeah, no, like, all right, so me and Dan will occasionally watch porn together, and he's like, fast forward, baby, fast forward. Like, every time, like, I was like, come on, I gotta get, like, worked up and, like, something. He's like, no. And so, like, we have to, like, get into, like, the meat of it to, like, where it's, like, hardcore. I'm like, well, this isn't fun. Like, I'm not aroused. Like, it just went in straight to that. And so,
Please-
like, if
please
that
say the
doesn't-
meat of it again.
I was stuck on that too.
But no, we
Wow,
have
how did-
we have the Pornhub app downloaded onto our TV. That's a true story.
That's awesome.
Wow. See, the kind of porn I
It's
like to
Disney
watch.
Plus.
I have and I will watch porno with my wife, but that's more for the experience of doing with her, and it's fun to do. But the kind of porn that I really want to watch, I can't watch with my wife. I don't want her to think a certain way about me. You know what I mean? No, it's not that at all. It's just
The girl's got to, her mascara's got to be running. She's got to be screaming for help. I didn't consent to this.
No, it's nothing. Honestly, it's nothing like that. There's no role play. There's no abuse. There's nothing sick about it. It's just, it's more down and dirty. It's
Stepdad.
Like R. Kelly videos.
I think he means like sticking his head up in there, right?
Okay, hold up. It's fucking anal. It's got to be anal. That's all there is to it. Dirty.
No
I had to come.
No interest.
That's what I'm trying to say. I can't watch that with my wife. It's just not the same thing. I need to see someone do the most depraved fucking things that they can do. It turns me on knowing that they're that dirty. That's all.
Now I podcast with two people that like anal. You and Vince.
But I don't want my wife to be that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Or honestly, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if she was into it, but I couldn't just present that. Well, look at this. I'm just gonna fast forward. Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch this girl getting shish kebab with these two guys and this and that and treated this way, and it sounds degrading. It's not.
We can't talk about Annabelle now because you never go ask to Annabelle.
Wow.
Anyway, enough of this topic. Holy cow. Let's talk about.
Yeah, I did not expect for us to talk about, what would make our heads explode like down there.
Well, this is what Women in Horror Month represents.
Oh.
Carly, I just have one more. What's your login?
Shut up. There's no login. It was a slip up.
I'm teasing.
Are these videos on your Plex?
I don't understand Plex.
I don't have Plex because I don't understand it either. I don't have it. I don't want it. I don't understand it. I keep looking up like how to use it. They're like, oh, you gotta share all your information. I don't want anyone to see my search history.
Like 2 people have shared their Plex with me, and I'm like, thanks, but then I don't understand how to watch I don't know. I feel stupid.
It's real easy. It's one of 2 things. Now hold on. Depends on what kind of TV you have. Either A, you have the app on your phone, you can Chromecast it to your TV if you have those capabilities, or B, like on my TV, there is a Plex app. So I went looking for it. Now it's easy as pie. Now that I got the Plex app, I log in, boom, and it's like using Netflix. And I type it in, and whoever's sharing whatever with me comes up. So it's great. You can get subtitles for just about everything on there. It's awesome. A
lot of smashing VHS videos. You got to weed through. It's a whole subculture.
But I don't know how to share on it, and I don't know. And that's the only problem. And the people that I have asked always tell me, "Oh, don't worry about it." I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'd like to contribute, but since honestly, what do I have? I have nothing.
That's me too. Yeah.
Things, right?
Yeah, I feel like an asshole because I can't. I'm like, I don't want to be stealing everyone else's stuff, but I don't.
True, right?
Like, I don't do that either.
Do you have a Chromecast or no?
I do actually. I have an Xbox too. I don't know if the app would be on there. I didn't even because I think I was using my laptop to try to figure it out, and I didn't. Like
what kind of TV?
Just a Vizio, like 40-inch HD TV. So.
Okay, well, it's worth looking. You might want to see if the app's on there. It's possible.
Probably is. I haven't checked, and like I said, I do have the Chromecast. I kind of don't use it anymore because I have the Xbox, but that has everything on it. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah,
Chromecast is what it's about. So very good. Well, I was going to talk about the brand new show, but I guess I'll talk about, because the show with Lacy and Carly and the other ladies, which is historical. It's a historical thing. But I'm going to have to wait till Lacy rejoins us. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to talk about Carly's shows because we have...
they're tough to talk about. I'm gonna...
His and Hers. His and Hers Horror Podcast, right? Or
yes.
Podcast, HHMP with JP. Then we have the MVM, Movie versus Movie, with Andrew Schroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Austin
Schroyer. I agreed. No.
I got you. Okay, hold on. Is there another one that I'm forgetting about? I am going to say I'm going to say no. I think the other one that I was thinking doesn't do shows anymore. Am I correct or no?
You are correct. Yeah, I pretty much just do those 2 shows and now the one with the girls here.
Okay.
But yeah, his and hers, we do that weekly. I'm shocked that JP and I have kept up with that one because Netflix and chill, obviously. Now, JP claims we're going to have a Shudder and chill, and he keeps saying that, and he keeps referring to the Shudder and chill, but we've yet to like make that happen. And I don't know if we're going to have time to actually ever do that, but for me, I mean, I'm content with his and hers. That's where we just review new movies that come out, and we kind of be ourselves on there and have our own inside jokes and stuff back and forth. So it's been a fun show doing that. We're already up to episode 55, which is crazy to think about.
Man.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
And you could
I think I can speak for all of us that just a mere mention of it makes us all shudder. I stumbled over that horribly. Anyway, 50, that's fucking crazy. I didn't even realize it got up that high. Everybody's at like 50 podcasts now, it seems, episodes. Every episode I've seen. Cinema Attack is up there now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carly, but I didn't mean to derail you.
No, but like, I mean, yeah, we started just last year and we managed to go weekly. I think we missed like 1 or 2 weeks, and it's easy because we're doing new movies. So we're not like scrambling to find content to really talk about. So that's fun. Movie versus movie. Austin and I are kind of lazy sometimes, and we're like, yeah, we'll record, and then we don't. But like, that one's more like laid back, where it's just like if we have too much going on that month, we just kind of skip an episode, but then we get back into it. I don't even know what episode we're on that at this point. Probably like in the 20s.
I was gonna say 20 something would have been my guess.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I'm doing. And then Lacy and I, of course, have started our podcast that turned out to be a major hit, which is crazy.
Well, of course, it's historical. And that's what I was going to say. Lacy, your other shows before the new one, obviously cut to the chase, because she basically swooped on in there and took the show that was just recording now and again and really turned it on its feet and started cranking out more material and different stuff. And it's been really good. The two of them have been working really hard there at Cut to the Chase. And then we have... Now, I know recently you did a solo project that's connected to Cut to the Chase. What's that? Skip to the Lou?
Yep, Skip to the Lou. Like, I think we joked about it the last time I was on Exploding Heads. I was like, you know what, I'm going to create my own side and call it Skip to the Lou, fuck Dan Chase. And
you guys have the perfect names for that to work out. Like, you're very lucky with that.
Right? Yeah, no, I recorded a whole fucking episode. I did Single White Female versus The Roommate, and I also talked about Whatever Happened to Baby Jane and Respire and Death Becomes Her. And I upgraded my audio, and I can't access the old like Audacity program anymore because I upgraded it. So like the file apparently just doesn't exist. So like in between me like going back to editing that, like it's not there anymore. But that's fine. We'll just move on to the next, and so that's why there's been a delay but I am going to be doing that more frequently because Dan works nights now and I need to occupy my time. So
nice.
Christian, how about a Skip to the Luciani?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
That'll be no.
Then you have the other one. There's still another show that you do, and it comes out not as often. But it's here with Derek B.
Yes, that one requires quite a lot of prep involved, and typically we're only available to do it like on a random Thursday or a random Saturday, and it just all has to fall into place. But yeah, it's there. It's there here,
It's there.
But listen, but it all comes down to this. I gotta give props because now I listen to every horror podcast there is, or at least try to sample as many as possible. So I'm well aware of what's going on in the horror podcast realm. I can tell you this, and I really do believe this. I don't know, probably there have been podcasts that had 3 female hosts on them. Probably. Okay, but I venture to say that the new podcast, the Slumber Party Massacre, is absolutely the only podcast that has 4 female hosts. So I have got to give you guys props. You got it going, and I really enjoyed it. And you know I'm a big fan of the 3 act thing because that's what we do on Wadsy, and that was my idea to do it. And I'm more about discussion than movie reviews, as I always say. So I'm really excited to hear more of this stuff. And of course, episode 1 was a big success. There's been lots of feedback on there. I haven't said anything on the page because I figured I would do it right here, in person. But I don't know who's editing it, but whatever. Job well done, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. And
Yeah,
it's like,
whoever's editing
Or
it,
great
he's doing a great job.
What do you mean?
I just that was my question. Who's the man behind the mask?
Well, the
Listen to
machine
this
that's
dick.
behind it is me.
see, I thought it would be you. I didn't think it would be Dan. So
No,
because
it-
he's busy.
Dan doesn't have time for this shit, and you
Right.
know, since he moved to nights, I've actually been editing Cut to the Chase as well. So, you kind of just I didn't know how to edit up until we started doing the Christmas shows. So the first episode I've ever edited was with Duncan's P2 with and then the last episode that so Dan did he did the first 3 Christmas episodes up to Christian, I think, or maybe the first 4, and then I took over after that, and then he edited the Black Christmas one and the Watson one, and then because I was like, fuck, I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. Like, we haven't had any feedback or anything. So just in case I'm not doing it right. And everybody said those were, I did a good job. So I was proud of myself. And that's what that's what kind of also inspired, to finally get this podcast off the ground. I was like, well, fuck, I can do it. And I don't have to rely on Dan to edit it because he takes forever. I mean, look how long it took us to get those Leprechaun shows out. No, he's really, really stepped up. I mean, he did all of the Halloween shows like within like a 5-day period. So, we've just been really busting our ass over it, Cut to the Chase. And once I figured out how to edit it, it's really kind of what pushed the Slumber Party Massacre forward. And I was just like, okay, well, it's time to, get my vision going. And I was actually talking about this last night with Watson, Moods, and Dan. And I was saying, I kind of feel like Alice from Dream Master from Nightmare on Elm Street. I feel like I've been podcasting with so many great podcasters that I feel like I'm just absorbing all of their powers. And
You're welcome. You're welcome.
yes.
Oh.
Sorry. No, seriously though. I mean, like everybody, I thank everybody in a sense because it really helped formulate how I wanted to, format the show, the 3-act podcast. Like, I knew I wanted to do like a slumber party theme, but I didn't know how to go about it until the Watsy party, So that was an inspiration there. Moods has amazing intros. And Dan is just like he would always like hit me with a pillow and go pillow fight. So like I mean it all just like everybody that I've listened to, I feel like I put together a show that and the 3 females that I have are such forces in the community as well, and there's nothing out there like it. So I just want to thank to every podcaster that's podcasted with me, because I feel like when we win, we all win, and and I love the support that we've gotten, and it's been incredible. I thought people might dig it. I just didn't know that they would dig it this much.
Yeah, me neither. I was shocked. We just making the group page. What group? People make groups and invite all these people, and then it's like crickets chirping, and then no one posts anything, and everyone was like swarming in. I was like, holy crap, we didn't even post an episode. And then, the episode posted, and that all had good feedback. And, Lacy, you had said, like, I think this is going to be huge. And I was like, yeah, I think one day it could be. I didn't expect, like, right away for all these people to be all over it. And that's awesome. And, I mean, I had such a fun time recording that first episode. So I'm excited to get more out. And I love your ideas. Like, you have all these ideas with the whole, what was that? Would you rather thing on the show and stuff like that. That just makes the show more fun. And I'm like Dave, I like discussions more than the actual review. Like, I can't remember what anyone says about a movie, but I remember like the discussions, like the fun little things we do. And Lacy has all these good ideas. So I think that our show is going to continue to, grow. And our chemistry is all good too,
Yeah.
Like, I was worried about that a little bit, but I think we all get along. I'm shy and like quiet. I'm like, this might be awkward because we've never all podcasted together, but I think we all came together really well, and it was a fun time. So I'm so happy that we finally got this off, because it's been like over a year that we've been talking about it.
No,
Right.
we did a promo. We did
Yeah.
like this really awkward promo that like Dave
Porno.
Porno, yes.
Yes.
It's been since
I'm not
deleted.
talking
Four
about
girls,
it.
one
It's
pod.
saved on Carly's account.
Has that one been taken down? Sorry.
No, Dan,
Yeah, I wasn't verified, so it's gone.
I was like, you know what? Like, I tried to do this, but like, obviously,
Uh-oh.
Give it a second.
the girls like last year around this time. You know what? I was like, let's cut a promo, and Dan was like, here, you need to get something out, and like he just gave me this like random script that he wrote. Dan smokes a lot of pot, so that's kind of. And this was like the roughest thing I've ever recorded, and I was like, I'm not putting that out.
Yeah, I felt really awkward about it. I feel like none of the takes went that well. It was very forced. It was like
Yeah, well,
stumbling over
yeah.
lines and.
It wasn't something that I wrote, so it felt like. I mean, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I might just like put it together one of these days, like if we get like a Patreon, because I'm sure this is gonna be like the talked about Lost promo, because I do have the audio for it still. So maybe if we ever do like a Patreon, I might use that as like a perk. 'Cause it's so fucking bad. Carly's like, I just threw up in my hair or something like that.
Yeah, it was very unnatural. Like, it was just like.
When did you guys record this?
It was
I
like
don't
a
even
year
remember.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It was that long. That's hilarious. Hey, I'm
Wow.
kidding, Dan. I'm kidding about the porno, please. Just joking.
Well, listen, the fact
Happy
that it's
birthday.
going to be monthly, the fact
Yeah.
that it's going to be a monthly show is a great idea, because with the ideas that you guys are talking about, you can take your time, you could do it right. There's no rush to meet a deadline or anything like that. I think it's honestly, the chemistry is going to improve. It's already great, but what I'm saying is all that stuff improves with time. So the chemistry will get better, the shows will be better. It'll just keep going. It'll just keep going in a positive direction. And let me offer you a little bit of advice, and this is just my opinion, okay?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say this. If you put together a promo, what you should do is wait, till you got 4, 5, 6 shows or something like that, and then take snippets of great moments. I love those type of promos where you just take moments from the show and say, oh yeah, at the Slumber Party Massacre podcast, we always say this, and then do something that's this, and it's the comments of you guys too, and somebody will ask about something. I think those are the perfect representation of what a podcast is. We haven't done one like that, but I can't edit or produce, so that's why it hasn't been done, and I'm not going to ask
And I
you to
refuse.
do that. Right, and I wouldn't anyway. I wouldn't
And
even
he,
ask.
he can't edit or produce either.
Well, what I would do ideally is kind of do like an imitation trailer from the Slumber Party Massacre, like the movie.
Brilliant.
Because in the trailer he's like, I can't remember the names of the characters at the time. He's like, but Mindy won't be there. Neither will be, and then like it cuts into like them doing like a line of dialogue. So
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it's something that I have a few ideas, and sometimes they get a little bit too big for my brain, and I just don't execute them for some reason. But I'm feeling like at my creative peak, and I'm just really excited for where it's going.
Awesome.
Yeah, me too. No, it's great. Like I said, I don't think there's any other show ever that's had 4 female hosts. So I mean, that's big, and how cool that it just happened to debut in Women in Horror Month on top of it when you've been talking about it for a year. I mean, it's like, wow, boom, right there.
And full disclosure, we're producing a show with 5 female hosts. It's coming out next week. Called Sorority House
Frankie
Massacre
C.
podcast.
We got our daughters in it.
Sponsored by VHS Misfits.
Yeah. Levi's an executive producer.
We can get our daughters. See, we can get our daughters. We can get Frankie.
There
We got a couple
you're-
friends that aren't doing the show. We
The
could do
world's
5.
first 5 female podcast. Sorority House Massacre.
You're a dick. You're a mean one.
Just completely overshadows us.
Mr. Luch, once again. Oh, man.
I'm kidding.
I hope so.
I'm kidding.
It's great, though. It's great to see. And one more thing, if you ever put it on YouTube, I don't know if there's any plans to it, but if you ever market it or it goes to someplace besides, just where our circle is, you're going to want to be very careful about using any Slumber Party Massacre music or anything at all like that.
It would have to be completely stripped.
Oh, someone tried to copyright.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid of YouTube, you guys. I honestly.
Completely stripped. That's why we want our Summer Party Massacres.
No, I'm a little afraid of YouTube, and I have thick skin and whatnot, but all right. So I guessed it on 22 Shots, and that was kind of. I haven't had that kind of negative feedback on anything that I've done. I mean, everybody's always been like really supportive, so it was kind of like a rude awakening. I think that's the only way that I can describe it. I was just like, what? Nope, not everybody likes me.
Yeah, that's how 22 Shots. Anytime I'm on an episode, I always like stalk the YouTube page saying like, please don't say something bad about me. Don't, because like there have been things said like, but Moods has a big channel, so a lot of people do listen. I mean, we put his and hers on YouTube, and we get like our channel's just not that big. We have only have like 88 subscribers, but like on 22 Shots, a big show like that on YouTube, it does freak me out too, because there are assholes, but then there are nice comments sometimes. I'm like, yay, but it does it'll ruin your whole day.
Said he has never gotten so much hate for a guest that I have gotten, and I was just like, well, fuck.
No, trust me. The one negative will outweigh 100 positive, and that's just human psychology. It sucks. It sucks.
It's human psychology. Who are you, Watson?
Yes.
It was really cool because some people that obviously seen the channel messages, they actually went and posted in 22 Shots. So like I don't get why they're hating on Lacy, because obviously I've been posting in 22 Shots. That's part of how Dan and I met, was 22 Shots. So they're very supportive there, and nobody talks shit there. But then, like, you go to YouTube, and two guys are like, "Fuck her! Her voice is cringe." And I get it. Like, I'm annoyed by this.
I took it down. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was told. The guy said I should be seen and not heard.
That's
which everyone
YouTube is fucking toxic. I could never.
It is.
That's why it's not like it's not that I don't have thick skin. It just don't want to subject myself to. I don't want to lose me, and I feel like YouTube would lose me.
Yeah.
You're preaching to the. Don't worry about it. You know what you should do? Post the episode of VHS Misfits and see what happens.
Maybe I'll go smash some videotapes. And say, hey, this is your head. No.
I'll suggest that's not the promo you should run.
No, I'll be smashing Sorority House Massacre.
This is one of the we have so many positives, for real. We have so many positives by putting the shows out and having friendships and listening to each other's shows, and the times we have when we're on them, and we usually tend to get a lot more good feedback than negative. We get so much good out of it that, of course, there is going to be some bad stuff. And every fucking buddy in the world, every entertainer, you name them, Johnny Depp, fucking Leo DiCaprio, the best of the best, whoever you think, every one of them, if they wanted to, could go on Twitter and fucking fight with people on Twitter that say negative shit about them. But you know what? The professionals don't. They look at that shit, they take it in stride, and don't ever let it get to you. It's like how I end up with the VHS people. I don't care what they said to me. I let it all fucking slide. And again, this is something that I've only learned finally after fucking years of interacting with people online. It's finally sunk in. What the fuck are you doing? Be an adult and be professional in some sort of way. You don't need to respond. You know who responds to bullshit? And I hate to say it, but you see like 20-something-year-old athletes NFL players, NBA players, and I can't. Granted, they're in their 20s, but still. And when I was in my 20s, forget about it. If I had fame and money, who knows? I probably would have died. But I mean, I see people firing back at people that criticize them on Twitter all the time. And these guys are millionaires that have everything, and they're that insecure. And granted, a lot of people are insecure, but it's how much you show it that matters. If you keep that stuff to yourself, and that's something about social media, is that it's fashionable to share your innermost thoughts. And I'm not ragging on anybody that does it. You do you. But I'm just saying when you do that, you put yourself.
Excuse me.
A lot of people are going to come out and support you, but there's always going to be other people who are not.
Absolutely.
You just can't give them the time of day.
Kill them with kindness.
No matter who you are, you're going to get insulted. I don't care who you are. So, Lacy, if they said shit about you, fuck them. They say shit about everybody. That's
don't go out guns a-blazing. Don't have Dan go out guns a-blazing, because I know that's what I would do if my wife was podcasting or whatever too. And
No,
I know. You just go. You just say, thank you for listening.
The best thing
Thank
to
you
do.
for your support.
No, the best piece of advice I've ever gotten: take all that rage, bury it deep down inside, and then take it out on your loved ones.
You just want me to like go misery on Dan Chase.
See, this is
No
our
problem.
What we're doing right now is our outlet. That's what my wife always says. About me. She goes, he needs an outlet, and podcasting is it.
That's what. Stick your fingers into one.
See, I felt stupid for like even like acknowledging it or like letting it like sit within me, but I feel like if I don't, like it would just fester and like I
Human nature.
Dan actually did a good job and didn't respond. He did respond, however, to a guy on the Slumber Party Massacre page of his own volition. And I'm sorry, Dan Chase has grown so much in, a short amount of time. Like he, Danny pops off at the mouth. So, especially when he feels like somebody has like downplayed or criticized me, like, he did not need to come to my defense in this specific instance, but he knows how hard I did work on that. And I think the comment was on the Slumber Party about the score of the music. And I knew it when I did it. So I think because me and Dan talked about it, I was like, all right, that's a little loud in places. And I'm still like I said, I've only been editing for like a month and a half. So I'm not a master by any means. And yeah, and I'm getting there. And when you hear it in the headphones versus like when you hear it once it's been all converted, it's completely different. And once it's all converted, I'm not going back. So, because that's a pain. And so, I mean, it's still listenable. In my opinion, it wasn't. I should have taken. I'm gonna like stay away from some of the like music undertones for a little bit. I figure out
advice.
And but I knew that already on my own because Dan and I had talked about it. I did do it for his birthday show because I mean I didn't want anybody to be heard, honestly. No, I'm kidding. No,
there's a 20 dB rule, but I even find that difference if you have the music 20 dB, it still overpowers the talk track sometimes quite a bit, so that I'd even lower to 25, sometimes even 30, depending on the music and how intense it is. That's work. But Brandon, shut up. We're talking shop now. Go comb your hair for the next 15 minutes.
It's hard to do. And as a listener, I've said it many times to many podcasts. People that are starting off, I even said it to C in the beginning. I said, Christian, please don't worry about playing music underneath. I go, if you decide later on, I go, because I listen to so many podcasts that play music underneath, and 90% of them have the music too loud or too low. And what's even worse than that is when they go to commercials. Sometimes they have fucking bumpers in between. Everything's at one fucking volume. Then all of a sudden, and then we're gonna go to commercial. Hey, we're on a new podcast here. What the fuck? You gotta lower it. Yeah. And I'm not knocking anybody because I couldn't do it. But,
I feel like I do an okay job with like the clips and everything like that. It's when I underline the music, over certain sections, and that's something that I will get better at and I will figure it out. But Like it's weird because it does sound okay in my head or like in my headphones, like when I'm recording it. And it's not until after to where it just somehow like, like over somebody talking, but that didn't happen when I was listening to it. And so I'm going to stay away from it for a little bit. But the thing is, this guy, he laid it out properly. He gave us, compliments first, and then he said, hey, the music is a little bit loud. I would recommend excising that in the future because I was really excited to hear you guys talk about Slumber Party Massacre, and that's the only reason I watched the movie. So he was like disappointed, and you don't think about those things necessarily. I mean, it's a brand new show, and I've never done this before aside from, cut to the chase, and it's expanded like listenership. I don't know these people, they don't know me, so I don't know the person's tone. But I said, hey, because I knew what I did, because it was, I had already rendered it, so I was like, fuck it, I'm not going back at this point because I spent a lot of time editing it, to be honest. And it wasn't like a lazy thing. I just wanted to make sure the episode was ready to go. And that's lovely hair. He looks like Don King.
I know the guy. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas is a good guy. He meant no ill will. In fact, he apologized about it later on.
But no, when I came in, I was like, hey, thank you for the feedback. Yeah. I appreciate it all. But Dan took that as like, hey, like you cannot.
Oh, he got mad at that?
Yeah, Dan came in. He's like, hey.
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. See, to me, that seems like a little bit of constructive criticism, but I didn't know that's what Dan came in on. I'm sorry. I just thought that I was going to say that guy could have been the opposite. He could have been a YouTube guy and said, oh, great job at doing so-and-so with like a roll of eyes.
Reached out a little bit more than what, because Dan's been good on social media as of late. But I think with the YouTube comments and, that I think he was feeling like I was being attacked. And, so it just kind of led up to that. And I think he thought that, I worked really hard on that. And it was a conversation that we had. And he was like, I get constructive criticism. However, that's not something that you need to call out on the page. And if he wants to do that, message you privately. You don't need to publicize and make it like a shattered glass effect to where somebody didn't hear it before, but now they go back and listen. Now that's all they're going to hear. And, so he was just like, he could have put it in a different way, but he also, the way he worded it was a little weird. I will admit that. It does sound like he, like if I do.
Condescending?
It was a little, I don't know. Like, I don't know him. I've never spoke to the guy, but the way that it came off when you read it was almost snobby.
Oh.
Yeah, he used big words.
It was a little snobby, but I thanked him for the feedback. That Dan's like, you're talking to my girl wrong. Like, you do it again, I'm gonna stab you in the face with the soldering iron.
Why are you coming at me sideways, yo?
Yes. Like,
JP.
And
yeah, JP.
And I
JP
get
loves to
that,
come at
man.
people sideways.
Yeah, he comes at me
So-
twisted all the time.
Don't fuck with my
the
people.
guy came back to Dan and he had highlighted his comment. So, I mean, it was a little, he did get a little condescending with Dan. He's like, I didn't say that at all. And then he highlighted it. And so that's what really set Dan off. And then he was like, the guy's name was Thomas. And he's like posting like Thomas the Train. Like
Thomas is a good guy. He's a good podcaster.
What does he podcast on? I don't know his podcast.
I don't know the name of it, but
But he's a good podcaster. What do you do? Send you like unedited?
Yeah, how do you know?
no, I've hung out with him. I've hung out with him. I played
it's
trivia with him.
Thomas.
He's good friends with Heather. He's a good guy. He meant no ill will by it.
No, and I didn't think he did. It was just like I said, the way that it came across was a little snobby, but I appreciated the feedback, and it's not something that I don't welcome, because obviously if I can improve upon something, that's what I want to do.
Mm.
And sometimes it takes someone like that to show you something, because a lot of times somebody will put something out and people that you're close to, even if they might make the same observation, they don't want to be the person to even reach out to you privately and say something, because then all of a sudden you have hundreds of friends online. How come only this guy decided to mention? Why does he have a problem with something I did on the show? Then all of a sudden in your heart you're trying to help, but if you looked at it another way, saying, hey, this fuck him, what an asshole. Even though that's why my wife has taught me to stay out of people's businesses and to just fucking to keep your mouth shut, even when you think you're doing the right thing, because that's got me in trouble many times. Where in my heart, what I think I'm doing is trying to help somebody, but she says a lot of times it backfires, and it you can't help it. I know you're
Like
trying
Lucky
to
the
help.
cat.
Poor
Aw.
kid. Poor kid.
I love that story though, Lucky the Cat.
Awesome. He's such a baby.
Instagram, man.
The story of a young boy who lost his beloved cat. It's a great story.
We only
That
got 3
cat,
tires and we're missing a cat.
that cat loves me and my wife. And I listen, I have 4 cats in this house. There's no other cat that acts like him. He comes up to me in the morning, every morning. Like yesterday, I'm trying to go to work. He cries enough. I have to pick him up and hold him for 2 minutes before I can set him down and then get his food and then go. And I've never seen a cat that wants human companionship as much as this guy. He follows. I mean, that's what you expect dogs to do. He has that type of personality. He needs his daddy and his mommy all the fucking time. He's such a loving fucking animal. I love that little guy. He's such a sweetheart.
Kid
He
did a
really.
good job. Kid did a good
And if you
job.
haven't checked it out, check out his Instagram because that's fun. Like there's like a whole story.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to
Thank
push
you.
that. Nobody cares. I see. I subscribe to these things on Instagram. It's called Black Cats of Instagram and this and that, and you hashtag.
Can't say that.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of pimps.
Oh, they will not pick his story up at all. They won't show any of his pictures. I see. And granted, there's a lot of great pictures of cats, but I mean, they don't give
Cat
us
Williams?
any. Now, all we need is one of them to throw us a bone, one of their agents, and say post it, and maybe the page could blow up a little, because my wife's really into doing it, and it's cool.
Oh, is it
but
your wife that runs the page or is it you?
yeah, no, she does it all.
It's her
She does
full-time
all.
job now.
I thought it was you. But
No, I
that's
promote
really
it. I promote it on my Facebook sometimes. Most of the pictures I take, and then I send it to
My favorite black cat.
Look at Lacy. Lacy's like, what am I doing here?
Isn't that William Cat?
What? That's Cat Williams.
That's William
No,
Cat.
I'm aware.
William Cat.
William Cat is from House.
Cat
It's a
Williams.
22 shots joke.
Oh
JP
yeah, that's
was
right.
calling him fucking
Oh.
Oh yeah.
William Cat. He was calling him Cat Williams one time on the show. It was great.
No, what is that his name? Cat?
Yeah, Cat Williams. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from House. Is that
William Cat.
Cat. He's William
Cat.
Cat, and that guy's name is Cat Williams.
Did you guys know that my last name is actually
Tell me
not?
who?
Yeah.
It's not what? Hold on, history here. Wait,
It's not Lacy Lou.
breaking news. What is it?
It's Williams.
Whoa! No shit! Wow, on our show.
Wow.
I'm related to Williams.
Has that ever been announced before?
No.
Not on a podcast. No.
Did you know my first name is actually Cat?
Are you my long lost brother from another mother?
My first name is actually William. I'm coming
Is it
clean.
really?
No,
What? Oh no.
I wish it was. Bill Zendano. That doesn't sound right to me. Right? Bill. Although Dave doesn't sound fucking right either. I hate
Is
that
it
fucking-
David or is it Dave?
No, it's David, but Yeah.
Oh, see, we learned something new today.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know Dave was short for David. We do learn something new every day.
Uh,
Do you all have middle names? That's what I'm curious about.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And mine is a doozy.
Yeah, what is it?
Melzone.
What?
Yeah, everybody says
spell
what?
that.
Christian
feel
like
Melzone.
Calzone. Malzone.
That's because that's what your parents used to get at Pizza.
I
Let
was
me
gonna
get a
say that
large
makes me
Malzone.
hungry.
Yeah.
That
Let me
sounds
get a
like
large
an
Not
Excel
Calzone, you
spreadsheet.
fucking prick.
That's fucking great,
Melzone.
dude.
Christian Melzone.
I love it.
Lucy
If
and-
I were
yeah.
you, when
Oh
I
my God,
formed,
that's
I
like the
got
longest name.
It's
My
awesome.
porn name is Tux Melzone.
I would drop the Christian, to be honest.
And just turn it over to Melzone.
I would too.
I might have to soon. My Facebook might change to Melzone.
Dave, next show. I'm here with Brandon and Malzone.
Brandon, what's your middle name?
Farrell.
Farrell?
Farrell, like Colin
Oh, Farrell.
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 Jim,
Farrell.
Right. Okay.
Brandon Farrell. Like, farewell.
Yeah.
That's how we like to think of it.
Named after my aunt Farrell.
Your aunt's name is Farrell?
No, her name was Frenchie. I never met her. She died a long time ago. But they used the F.
Wow.
What? What?
In
Is it?
in the Jewish religion, you name after the dead. So they used the F to honor her.
Oh, no, Jesus then.
So why did they name Franklin or Francis?
Actually, if I was a girl, I would have been Francine.
Oh.
So I might be Francine.
You could be
So,
Francis
like,
IS.
fully transition, you're going Francine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Dave, did you say yours?
Mine is Nicholas.
David Nicholas.
Yep.
Nicholas.
My father's name is Nicholas. Yeah, we got a bunch
Okay.
of Nicks in my family. I have an older brother who's Nick. Yeah, but I got stuck with the fucking generic name, David. But at least they gave me the Nicholas.
Can't do the head rolling scene. Isn't that the name she yells out in
And
Trauma?
what are your middle names?
Yeah, we showed ours. You got to show yours.
Allison.
Oh yeah, I
Just
love
my
that.
I made it my Facebook name on my
Yes.
horror Facebook, so it's no big secret.
Well, that's where Lou stems from, is my middle name, Lacy Louise. Yep.
Yes.
Ah, that makes total sense now.
I would have gone with Lou Ferrigno.
What do you mean?
My grandmother was named Anna Louise.
My grandmother was named Lou Ferrigno.
No, I was going through a divorce and I didn't want to, like, my last name was still my married name.
Mm.
And I didn't want to go by that anymore. And so I just started calling, everybody calls me Lacy Lou. And I didn't realize how much it was, like, going to kind of become like a pen name almost. Like, it kind of fits, like Lacy Lou Reviews, you know?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna call you Louise Williams from now on, if you don't mind.
Louise! Like, have you ever seen Teen Witch? Like, that's what my sister used to do. Because the main girl in that,
Yeah.
her name was Louise. So she would come in, she'd be like, Louise!
Did you ever see what do you call it?
Annabelle
Chilling
1, 2, or
Adventures?
3?
Oh, yeah, we do.
I literally forgot what we were doing here.
Right. We
Let's
did
just give the
the
ratings. Let's just give the ratings and just talk.
longest intro in the history of the show. You're right. But anyway, if you haven't seen Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, I highly recommend it on Netflix. It's fucking great, by the way. But anyway, so you said the Teenage Witch, and I thought of Sabrina,
You're
of course.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right though. Let's take a quick break. Come on the other side and get to these spoiler-filled Annabelle trilogy movies.
You can't say
Given
that.
to us by Abraham Ram the Ram Man. So we'll be back 2 and 2.
Did you guys watch these in order? Like, did you I'm assuming everybody watched them in order of release, or did
Yes.
someone decide to do the Annabelle Creation first?
I wanted to, and I didn't know. I was trying to think about all three because I only saw the newest one. Actually, I've only saw the first and the third released one once a piece. So I was trying to do it in order, but I wasn't sure if Comes Home where it took place. I forgot. So I was
did
like,
too,
well,
Probably at home.
yeah.
Since she comes.
So here's what's fucked up. I had to watch the first one the first night that I had my family was with me, and they had to watch it, and they had to watch the first one. So I mean, they just had, and my wife had seen it before. I don't know if Frankie had ever seen it. So they got, and I told them, I go, well, you're gonna watch the worst one. I said, I mean, of course that's my opinion, and we'll find out more as we go. But I said, you're gonna watch the worst one. Unfortunately, I go, I'm gonna watch the other two Saturday or Friday. Are you gonna have time? And my wife worked the whole time, so I've been on my own. So I watched the other two yesterday.
I watched The Nun first.
Well, I'm gonna talk about the Nun. There are some tie-ins here besides the obvious. But there are some things that explain some things that happen here that they retcon when they made The Nun. Because I also like The Nun. I know it's not the most popular movie.
I do too.
You can't
Yeah.
talk about it. I'll have none of that.
Come on now.
Those jokes. I mean, it's a bad habit to break.
It's a hard habit to break. It's also the Chicago song. All right. The first Annabelle I saw for the first time. This was the first time watch.
What?
Yeah. Creation I've seen a bunch of times and Comes Home I've seen a bunch of times. But first time I saw original Annabelle. All right, let me introduce it. Annabelle from 2014. A couple begins to experience terrifying supernatural occurrences involving a vintage doll shortly after their home is invaded by satanic cultists.
Okay. Anybody else's first time besides Brandon?
No.
No.
No,
I saw it in the theater when it came out, and then
My
like one
first
other
time.
Rachel.
Okay, B. What did you
Yes.
think going into it? Because what was your what reputation did you think that this particular movie had going into it?
Honestly, when I saw Creation, I had always skipped this one because people had always talked about it being like the worst movie ever.
Huh.
It's not that bad. It's
No,
really not that bad at
It's
all.
not that bad. It is not that
Kind of
bad.
generic.
It is
The
generic.
20 minutes are great. The first 20 minutes are great, and then it gets dull.
Mm.
But the
Yeah.
acting's okay.
The acting's fine. I appreciate a lot of the things that the characters do, particularly the fact that everybody's sort of on board. The fact that the husband believes the wife, the fact that the priest comes in, there's none of this. Oh, she's crazy. We're gonna lock her up, and then crazy things are gonna happen at the end of the movie that they're gonna start to believe. You know, I like the fact that everyone's on board. But that's sort of like the case with this whole trilogy, I felt.
Yeah. Most supportive husband ever in this film, I'll say that.
Yeah, good guy. Isn't that crazy that her name is Annabelle? The actress?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
See, I thought you guys were punishing me when you asked me to do this franchise because I've been pretty vocal about how I feel about like James Wan as a whole. And
What do you
know,
mean?
what do you mean?
What do you mean?
I'm not a big
Whoa.
fan. Like, I'm a fan of Saw, and I feel like, you know, he's kind of sold out. I really do. I mean, I know he didn't direct any of these, but he is a producer on them. So, no, I felt like you guys were kind of getting back at me. I thought it was kind of going to be a joke that for making you guys do the Leprechaun and the Grinch and Black Christmas and all these fucking shit shows that I've made you guys do and cut to the chase. So I thought it. That's why you asked me to do this because I've been pretty vocal about how I feel about James Wan and the Annabelle films. So
Interesting.
Wow, crazy.
I've
I
heard
don't-
that you talked about James Wan films before. I don't know if I've heard you talk about like this movie here. The first Annabelle's kind of, it's usually not liked, but I don't know if I've ever heard you speak upon the second or the third one. But knowing you and your taste, I would have said, I'm going to talk about. I know I'm jumping, but Creation. As I'm watching this, I'm thinking about it, and I know what Brandon and Christian have said. I've always said that it's my favorite one. They said that they like the other one more, but they still liked this one. So I was going to guess just about that movie in particular. I was going to say, I have a feeling that Carly is going to like this movie. Maybe not as much as me, but probably more than the other two guys. And I have a feeling that Lacy is just going to be lukewarm on it. That's my feeling. So I guess I can apply that to the whole franchise. We will see. I don't know, but I mean,
That's where she got her name, Lacy Lou Carly.
I'll tell you this: as I'm watching it,
I love the reaction.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Conjuring movies and James Wan and those ones, and I'm like, you know what? There is something about them, and I could see why some people may not like them. But I'm also looking at it saying, when you take a look at modern day supernatural movies, how many did it better? Like I happen to prefer the first Insidious to any of the Conjuring movies in the entire universe, and that's where it ends. The other ones are just okay. But it's just like when I think about supernatural horror in the modern day, I don't know if I could name movies that I think are better than what we see, in the Waniverse. Period. I mean, I don't know, and it's tough. It's not a very popular subgenre, but the ones that are doing it right are Juan and his gang, and they're coming to theater. But there isn't a whole lot of supernatural horror, is there? Like in general.
I mean, there is, but it's like all shitty, low tier, I feel. Like, I agree with you. I think the Insidious films and the Conjuring films are probably some of the best to come out in recent years. And most of the other stuff I've seen is very generic and not scary and just hard to get through. So
I think Mike Flanagan
Yeah.
is amazing, and he's dabbled a little bit in this kind of horror. I mean, he did Ouija. Is it Ouija or Ouija? Like, how do you fucking pronounce that? God, a Ouija board?
Midsommar.
A Louise board?
I say Ouija.
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 Is that really how you say it?
Is it?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ouija?
It comes from the two words meaning yes, we and ja, from two other languages.
We had this argument on the show, Brandon. I think Dave had like a 5-minute dissertation on it.
Oh, Ouija.
Well, he did part 2 of that, Origins of Evil, and Dan for some reason thought that he was the one who did part 2. He's like, no, part 2 is really good. I remember people talking that, Flanagan did. I was like, no, baby. I was like, he did part 2 of Ouija, apparently. But no, I think it the same girl from part 2 is in that film, right?
Yes, yeah, that girl.
I think maybe that's another reason why he was getting, crosshairs. But I think if Flanagan had maybe put his hat in the ring to direct one of these, I probably would have liked some of them a lot better.
That's a good point. Flanagan is doing it right. Yeah.
Except when he has his monsters do the Rah! I've always commented on those Flanaganisms.
Yep.
Annabelle's
Flanaganisms.
Yeah. Annabelle's mouth would have taken it. It's crazy.
Well, I would take that over like a painted black arm grabbing me.
Well,
but you get that a lot in this franchise.
I like that black demon. I like it.
Dude.
He kind of reminds me more of something from Insidious than the Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
The one guy that they all call Darth Maul, which I've never liked because I always thought that was a really stupid comparison. Just because a guy has a red face doesn't automatically say, "Oh, that's Darth Maul from." I mean, do they call fucking what's his name in Legend a fucking Darth Maul because he has a red face?
Do they call Rudolph Darth Maul because he's got a red nose? No, they don't.
It does not look like Darth Maul just because he has a red face. But anyway. So you agree, B, that demon?
Love the look of the demon.
He looks like something. Me too. It's like he looks like one of the things from Insidious more than the Conjuring, which is cool.
That's exactly what I thought. And there's some good scares. There's some good effective scares in this film.
There are.
I like the setup much more than in the payoff here. I find it just that the second half, it's where it gets very generic. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just generic. It's just we've seen it. I really like that setup with the neighbors getting.
Oh, that's
off.
Creepy.
Yeah,
that's very creepy.
And then coming in the house and I like your doll, and that is all fantastic. And then I feel like they spent I watched these all with one of my daughters, and she agreed. We were like, why did they go to the hospital twice? It felt like they could have amalgamated the scenes to speed the movie up to get it going a little faster. And I think that's the biggest problem is like that second act is like too long to get going, and these movies are a little on the longer side. They're not like epic, but they could
5-ish.
I think a little bit more. I think they're like 1 hour and 45. I don't know what you said. Sorry, you broke up on me, Lacey.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 45-ish.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yep,
so
totally.
And that is pretty long for a horror movie these days.
Yeah.
Unless you're Midsommar or
Wrong Turn, the reboot, which is almost 2 hours, which was kind of surprising.
Was it really?
Wrong Turn, the reboot is 2 hours?
Yes.
It is.
Yes,
I haven't listened to the reviews yet because I haven't seen it. Wow, 2 hours. What the fuck?
And it sure feels like it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I listened to your episode and I stopped right when you guys started, so I didn't. You know me. I don't like. No. Of the Wrong Turn.
Apparently, this is JP. We're gonna start with our review of Wrong Turn. Click.
No, see, that's what I love about their show. Their fucking main review is only like the last 15 minutes of a fucking 90-minute program. It's perfect. Yeah. That's when I always stop. I'm like, okay, well, I spent my time with them, and I don't get to see Wrong Turn until later. You know?
Well, I'll say this. I thought when they unbox Annabelle for the second time, after, of course, they throw her away, I thought that's a creepy scene. I thought the scene in the storage basement with the elevator, with the demon, with the carriage, super effective. Yes. And one of the most effective scenes in this. It's been done in other movies, and I couldn't remember what the original movie was that did it, and I finally looked it up. But the scene where you hear the footsteps charging, and little Annabelle charges at Mia, and then turns into an adult. It was some shock.
I was shocked.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I couldn't remember. I knew it was done in Housewife a few years ago. Also,
yes.
It's such a great scare tactic, though.
What is it from? Shock.
Baba.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the show.
Fuck.
With the little boy runs up and boom, and just goes out of frame, and then a man comes out.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Shock.
Shock's
fuck.
good. Shock's good, and it's
Yeah, we did it for the show, the Baba
We
show.
did?
I don't
Did
think I've seen Shock. Yeah, it's like 88 or something like that, or in the 80s.
What do I know?
Dave
Okay.
doesn't think he's seen Shoe's Nest either, though.
But
I can't
yes,
remember.
so they ripped that scare off though.
Like,
Like
who
that's
cares? If it's
people were talking about like when Black Christmas last year, they got shit on. Like, oh, the biggest scare, they totally tried to rip off Exorcist 3.
you're number one. You're number one from last year.
Right, I gotta anybody that gets in my way.
Look at Lacy. Lacy's like, fuck this movie.
No,
I was gonna say that little girl scare is the scariest.
Dave knows how I feel about Black Christmas 2019.
Wait. Little B? Little B.
Little B. Well, no, Little B wasn't shown in this one.
The one you said, whatever the fuck you just said,
When
like
she
the girl
turned.
running to the
Oh, it's yeah. Oh.
yeah, like that.
That was literally all I remembered about this movie, except the
Mhm.
beginning with the cult, and that was the one thing I was waiting. So those are the only two things that stuck out to me when I first saw this movie, in 2015 when it dropped, was that one scene and the thing in the beginning with the girl in white being part of the Manson type cult. That's all I remember.
Was the cult called the Disciples of the Lamb or the Ram? Because wouldn't it be funny if it was the Ram?
I think it was the Ram. And,
Right?
And
Disciples
it
of the
fits
Ram,
in.
then.
Yeah.
Is that why he picked it?
I don't know, but I thought of Ram Man too. I have
He'll
it
chime
down
in.
right here.
That's hilarious.
Disciples of the Ram.
No,
Yeah.
they don't reference that's the daughter in that one, right?
No.
We don't
that's
find that out
creation
until
movie.
later. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great tie-in, though. It's really well
Yeah.
done.
Yes. I mean, it just so happened. The only thing that's a tiny bit contrived, but what are you going to do? But it just so happens that another Annabelle doll was next door to fucking her parents' houses where she goes to return to kill. But you can excuse it. What are you going to do? They have to get it going. It's not the same Annabelle doll. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be, but she didn't know it was there, is what I'm saying.
Maybe it drew her there.
Yeah, but her parents already lived there, so she was going to go kill her parents anyway.
But maybe
Oh,
she did it. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
she went to go
I have
kill
a
her
major
parents.
problem
And they got
with that. We'll get to that in the sequel. You don't find that out until it is a cool tie-in, but I have major issues with that scene. Another scene that I have like major issues for this film is the scene where she's sewing and the popcorn is on the stove, and you're just waiting for the popcorn to explode, and there is no fucking exploding popcorn. You get like a little baby fire, like.
You want exploding popcorn?
There was no exploding popcorn.
That should be another offshoot. Exploding
We'll do
popcorn.
Can you
I'm gonna
please
put a Jiffy
post?
Pop on my stove and see if
Please
it
put all your
explodes.
VHS smashes under exploding Jiffy Pop, please.
That happened. Like it was like a fire and like a little flame, and
And the whole house burned down.
Yeah.
Like
And the husband's not mad. I'd be like, I'm glad you're okay. The fucking house!
He left the popcorn there, though.
And this, I feel like we would see exploding popcorn. Would we not?
Maybe it was caramel.
Listen, the husband
This
in
is
this
a Dave
movie,
Z-ism. That's a Dave Z complaint. I didn't see any exploding popcorn. 4 out of 10.
I did. And I was pissed. Show me
Yeah,
exploding
maybe
popcorn.
you're right. It should have been bigger. It should have been bigger and opened up and then been black inside, and then should have been a big ball of a filled Jiffy Pop thing, and everything, and the flames are coming up from the top and the
Or
sides.
the demon hand
You're
comes
right.
out of the Jiffy.
Or a big critter comes out. A big black critter.
Something. But no, we
Yeah.
just got like a little poof of a fire, and she's like, "Oh, I smell smoke, and now I'm gonna go fall down for the umpteenth time."
Well, the force was pulling her and tripped her. It was dragging her.
What?
I just think
Of
it's like
course.
the husband in this movie is just so
Annabelle.
way too supportive of this woman. Like she's
Yeah.
setting the house on fire. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you're
exactly.
scared? We're gonna move. I bought you this $1 million doll. We'll just throw it in the garbage." Like everything about I'd be divorcing her ass. It's like-
I completely
But she's
understand why she
good
wanted to
looks,
throw it away. The
Well,
girl
she's
who slit
pregnant,
her
right?
and the girl who
Is she
slit her open
pregnant?
throat. Yeah, she gives birth to a
That's
little
why.
girl.
That's
But
why. That's why.
no,
he's
it's
extra
also
supportive.
yeah, obviously, but also because the woman Annabelle slit her throat and was holding the doll. I would get rid of that too. I don't care how expensive. I'd be like, I don't want that in my house.
They got the blood out. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, it's good as new.
It was definitely a talkie
He's
Tina.
throwing the doll out. You should have just been like, fuck.
I thought it was a Teddy Rock spin.
Yeah, he never gets mad. This husband is the best guy in the world. Doesn't even raise his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
He's already been through it with the Planet VHS people and the YouTube fucking people. He's learned not to get angry anymore. See,
Dave, you said it was a Teddy Rock, what did you say? Talkie Tina? You think it was a Teddy Rock spin?
yeah, Rock spin. Yeah, it's amazing. Somebody was selling a
YouTube.
Somebody was selling a Teddy Ruxpin on the Amazon Marketplace the other day, and I took a screenshot and sent it to these two because the way they maybe they used voice text when they listed it, but it said Teddy Ruxpin, Rocks, and then the other word Been.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even. I saw that. I didn't even click
Two
it.
together.
Why did I put it
Like-
up?
I go, is Dave buying this? That's all that went through my head.
Teddy, where have your rocks been? That's great, man. Oh, but yeah, there was a Talkie Tina nod as far as I'm concerned. You know, my Twilight Zone obsession and all, but I mean, that's exactly what fucking Telly Savalas did. Put it in the garbage can, and then the next day, there it was. Fuck it came back. You know? Teddy Rock. Jeez.
That scene that you're talking about, B, with the elevator. Now,
I love that scene.
It's a little long, but I want to know what's going on because the elevator door keeps opening, but there's nothing there, right?
It's a demon
No,
tormenting her.
We just saw it, though.
But I just see it would be before, and she runs in. She tries to push it to go up, but every time the door opens, you don't see the demon there, do you?
No, you see
No.
the darkness.
It's just the fact
You
that
see
it's a scary corridor.
Yeah, it should. Okay, good. I think it should have been like every time the door opened, the demon was a little closer. Maybe that's generic, but that I was just like, what are we supposed to be? Huh?
That's more
Just be
scary, not knowing what's
attractive.
there, seeing nothing. Like I'm looking everywhere. Like, oh my god,
Yeah,
what,
like,
what
where
is it?
is
What
it?
is it? Yeah,
Right,
unlike
okay.
you know
And then
when
where is it?
Annabelle, when the doll starts floating, it's like, come on, that's stupid.
And you know what? And
Yeah.
you're right. I am totally on board for that. I guess for this type of movie, they needed something more visceral or something that got my juices going. And I was just like, what am I looking at here? I look at my daughter. Am I missing something? She's like, no. I go, that could have been so much better. I thought it just missed the mark a little.
Yeah, I found it effective because like I'm like sitting there like, oh, there's gonna like I couldn't remember if anything is there from watching the movie before, even though I've seen it like 2 other times. So like it was effective. And I mean that would creep me out. Like you're on an elevator and it keeps opening and it's just like the scary freaking basement and you're like, why? What do I do? Do I have to run to the stairs? Where are the stairs at? I don't know. Like so that did freak me out because I feel like it would have been cheesy if they had something. I feel like they would have screwed it up probably in this movie, especially because whenever they do effects on the faces and stuff, it looks atrocious in my opinion. But
Well, we see the demon right before that. No, that's what makes her beeline it
Yeah,
to the elevator.
we do.
Yeah.
Well, this
So I
direct-
agree. I like the idea. Sorry, Lacy.
Oh no, I cut you off, so I apologize. This director, John Leonetti, he actually likes to use elevators. I think he did Wish Upon, and there was obviously that elevator sequence in that as well. I think I'm just not maybe a fan of him. I think he also, I could be wrong, but I think he also did Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Am I wrong on that?
No, he
Yeah,
did.
I remember. He seemed to have done a lot of like secondary movies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just not a fan of his. Like, I was really excited for Wish Upon, because Ryan Phillippe and Telly made him like a garbage man or a dumpster diver. Have you guys seen that? Like, it just doesn't like it's terrible choices.
I skipped it.
Guys. Like, there is no way that Ryan Phillippe is a dumpster dad. Like,
oh yeah, he is in that movie.
I don't buy it. Like,
That was my favorite part.
Phillippe was dumpster dad.
Perfect casting.
Yeah.
No, one of the scares in Annabelle though, was when she's in the room and the little girl and all of a sudden it like starts charging at her and it turns into like full grown adult. Like, so she like literally aged with the speed of how fast she was traveling.
Yeah.
Dan watched part of this one with me and he was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
Boom.
super effective. It's super effective. I don't care if it's been done now. This is the third movie I've seen it in, and each one it's super effective in.
Did they do it in that movie, what was it called? The Prodigy from 2 years ago?
Another
With
one
like the little boy.
I didn't see that
when
one.
Brayden mentioned Housewife, I'm like, shit, I watched it at the beginning of last year. That must be the movie it was in. But you might be right, Carly. Because I watched
four movies in it.
Well, I'd have to
Yeah.
but if you're thinking that, because I was remembering it, Housewife wasn't the one that I was thinking about. As soon as Brayden said, I'm like, well, I did watch that. So it must be that one. So, yeah. So people do like that scare. But again, it's like a rip-off scare, which is fine. If it's done effectively, it's done effectively. But
I just think there's really nothing to this movie. I don't know. And especially coming off the Conjuring films, I was really excited when this came out. And then I went to see it in the theater with like my mom and my aunts, and we were like, that was kind of not good. But like, we were trying to like it, but it just felt such a generic step down. When you're thinking like, oh, there's going to be this huge universe with the Conjuring films, and it's like they blew it with the second film already. But then they redeemed themselves because the Conjuring 2 and all these other movies turned out to be pretty good.
Well, the sequels to this,
it's hit and miss.
They actually got better. I mean, I think I'm hoping we're all in agreement that I know Dave, you have a preference for Creation, but I think they just got better each movie they made in the series, and I guess we'll find out later, but I thought that they've actually improved upon themselves each time.
I think it's a smart series for one reason, because they didn't go cheap with it. They could have done something to make Annabelle a killer doll in the vein of a Chucky or anything like that, like a generic fucking killer doll movie. Instead, they said, no, we're not going to just put Annabelle in that type of role. We're going to have the evil that resides in her and causes what it causes.
Conduit.
Yes. I think it's so smart because honestly, who wants to see that Annabelle? It is cool. There is a scene in this movie where she does stand up. When you see it, she moved at first and then she stood up. And when she does do any type of moving, I find it cool. It's not an overplayed card. I think they do it maybe once a movie. And it's done well, but I think it's a smart move by them. Whoever made the conscious decision to say, let's not make a killer doll movie. I mean, it's going to get numbers because of The Conjuring. It was a famous scene in the beginning. People like seeing about that Annabelle doll. This is going to be our first spin-off. Let's do it right. People want to see this killer doll, but let's not necessarily make it a killer doll. I like that. And I think some of the good stuff in this is that one scene with the carriage when I thought the kid was getting smashed in the baby carriage. It was a well played and shot scene. Then you rewind and see that you can't see what's in front of her, but you just see the top of the baby thing. But when you're watching it, at least me, both times I've seen it, it got me where I thought the baby was in that carriage.
I was hoping.
It was out in the street. So was I. We get robbed in every fucking movie in this franchise of someone that should have died that would have been very effective.
Honestly, the baby killing scene that would have been super effective is if one of those books had just whacked her on the head and caved her head in. When the books are falling off the shelf, when she's locked in the room, she's looking under the door, and the baby's sitting in the room, and the books are falling. I'm like, oh my god, can you imagine if
the
they
baby's
actually
just going,
talking about it.
Look like
People
Dave doing the
would
Shoes
still
Nest
be
review.
This is the Annabelle movies are too safe for me. Like,
yeah, I knew that none of that stuff was gonna happen. Like, I knew that baby wasn't gonna die by the end. It never really got me.
I don't think Creation's a safe movie at all.
I was talking about this yesterday for a little bit because, with the Twilight films, some of the guys got, they felt like there's a point to where something happens, or you think it's happening, and then it doesn't. And, like, they were really pissed about that, and I was just like, well, fuck. You like all these horror movies that, have stuff that you think is happening, and then it's nothing. And the Annabelle franchise is a good one of those because it tries to make you think something's happening, and then like 2 seconds later it like retcons itself and like, nope, that didn't happen. Like, is the spirit real? Is the spirit not real? Like, it's cheap to me. in that concept, but I actually did like what Twilight did. So I don't know. I'm a conundrum.
That's okay. Hey, everybody's got their taste. You never know. You never know. I think there's some good in this though. Like I like that thing with the kid with the drawing, which I think is a what do you call it? It's what's that? Children of the Corn nod. Remember when the kid was drawing the drawings in Children of the Corn of the deaths that were going to happen, and then they had him going up the steps with the carriage and all that. I thought that was cool, and there were certain things I thought were fine. I thought it was kind of silly that the priest decides to fucking he has the thing that he's afraid of, this killer doll supposedly sitting shotgun in his car.
Oh,
then
what is in the back?
Why would you put it in the back seat? Didn't you see Child's Play? The fuck's the matter with you?
Well, Child's Play didn't exist back then.
Yeah, I know.
I would have ran into the church also.
Good point.
He's just strolling into the church and then boom, comes flying out. Shouldn't he have been safe once he's on sacred ground?
Ooh.
The evil just shoots him out of the church.
Well, you know what that was, right? That was they talked about it earlier. They were looking through the papers, and one of them said the curse of Belial. Did you see that?
I
It's the
apologize
curse of Belial.
Oh my god.
I
What
apologize.
about I like Evelyn's character too. I mean, I like that. It makes it was really good time with the way it ended.
Yeah, she's cool. What a sweetheart to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of had a feeling in that scene that that's where it was gonna go, but I mean that's something that's unsafe. This poor woman throws herself off that thing. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I kind
Which
of
was
found that
fucking
part funny.
pointless.
I find it funny whenever they're just the way that scene's done. Like the one woman's at the window, and then he's like, "No, this isn't the way." And then all of a sudden, that Evelyn's like, "I know a way," and she's like standing in the window in the next scene. I remember laughing out loud in the theater.
And
at
the
that.
sound
Just
effects.
The way it's.
The sound effects when she jumps and you hear
Carly, I'm right there with you. That is what you think is happening. That's what played out in my head, Brandon.
what?
So I agree, Carly. You just feel like she's like, I know a way. Jocelyn and I laughed out loud. It
Yeah.
was hilarious. It's so
just so
badly
dramatic.
staged. Yeah, it was supposed to be this dramatic thing, but they stage it so laughably. You can't help but laugh. Unfortunately.
And the funny thing is, right after that scene, they show her dead on the ground, and they pan back up, and the baby's there. Like all of a sudden, the baby just appeared in the mirror and dropped in its mother's arms or something. Hey, you're back! You know, it's kind of funny.
My notes on that, I wrote that bitch just sacrificed herself for nothing.
Like, here's my higher purpose, suicide.
She gets to be with her daughter now.
No, she's going to hell because she committed suicide.
No, because they say God honors sacrifice.
Annabelle got her soul. Though.
Apparently not, because there's, a sequel with Annabelle Comes Home. So obviously the evil is not gone.
Evil can only be contained.
Correct. It's
Not
true.
So
destroyed.
why the fuck did she kill herself then? That's fucking stupid.
To
Because it
save
wanted a
Leah,
soul.
to save the
Because
baby.
it wanted a soul, so she gave it her soul. So she
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah, she did save the baby. That's
She saved
Yeah.
the baby and she saved Mia. She saved that family so she could be reunited with her family. And
She didn't save me from watching this movie.
aw. I agree with you, Lacey. I agree with you, watching it, that it is a very safe movie. There's nothing that really, is overly challenging where it's like, oh my God, there's nothing. Like, at the end of it, you're like, oh, that was just blah. I don't think I'll ever watch this one again. But I don't think it's as bad as I had made it up to be in my mind based on other reviews I had heard.
I want to ask you guys, what did you think about the look of the doll in this one? Because I think the look changes throughout the movies for me.
It's so weird. I don't even look at the doll. The doll is the least interesting thing in the movies to me.
Yeah?
yeah, it's really not about the doll. It feels like half the time, but I like how you see what the doll looked like before it got all evil and
Yeah,
scary.
gunsed
Like how
up,
it looked
yeah.
like a vintage.
Before it got all dolled up.
Yeah,
Is that what you
yeah.
said, Christian?
I said gunged up, but I'd like to take the credit for all that.
Her best movies. In Creation, I think her best look is in Creation, because obviously she was just created. I think that's her
Yeah,
scariest
she's
look.
hot in Creation.
I feel like she kind of like went Glenn from Seed of Chucky and part, Annabelle Comes Home. But in this one, the main chick, Mia, I think is her name.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She obviously is a doll collector. and he was gonna throw out the doll. And
You say dildo
We all thought of it. Like, what was she?
I didn't
collecting?
even think of it. That's funny.
She's like, she's a doll collector. I'm like, whoa.
Fuck you guys.
She went to the-
I didn't even
Her
think it.
husband brings her home a giant dildo in that box. Honey, I've been looking forever.
This is what
Yeah,
I
it's part of a collection. Yeah, we got this one. We got the black one over here. We got this one here. And my
Sounds
wife
really
was laughing.
veiny.
We were watching it, and my wife's like, she goes, "I know that black one on the end is looking over, saying, get that bitch the fuck out of here."
Those dolls are creepy
Oh, no.
as fuck.
But for this scene, like, she pulls the dildo doll out of the box, and the husband's like, "No, I'll get rid of it for you." And she goes, "No, she fits right in." And she puts her on the shelf, and like, she doesn't fit in at all. She's like covering up the other dolls.
She's huge. Yeah. She has to
like-
knock over some.
And Dan said when we were watching it, I think sometimes just my favorite parts are just like watching movies with him for his fucking commentary. And he goes, "She's so big, she's gonna break the shelf." And like, because it like panned on her for like a good minute, and I was like, you know what, you're right.
She's a big girl. I think it's more the lighting than anything.
She's a big girl.
Thick.
She's a big girl. She's a big doll. But I think what you're saying about the look of Annabelle, I think they use the same doll. I just think that it's the lighting. Like, this is kind of like generic white light that you see in like a normal movie. It's production value. And I think like Creation was meant to look like kind of darker. There's a lot of darkness in the movie. I could be way off, and it may not be the same doll, but I think a lot of it may have to do with lighting. But I don't know.
Well, there's definitely that. I mean, Creation and Comes Home feel like they've got the same cinematographer as The Nun, which is a fantastic look to all those movies. This one, it's its own unique look, but it's definitely more bleached, like that washed out bleached asshole. It's a
Like your asshole.
bleached asshole. Hey, we're bringing it back, everybody.
Of course.
Bleach. I believe
Like
in
a-
part 2
yeah.
they use a Teddy Rock spin.
But it's got its own look, but it's not nearly as effective. Is where I was going to go with it as well. So I agree. It's partly the lighting, but I know what Lacey's saying. Like, there's times where it looks like, again, it's cleaner, and then once it does look a little bit more evil, and they're playing around with the lighting there, but I think they fucked the face up a bit too.
Well, no, like in the third one, she has like marks on her. Obviously in the Creation, it is.
Yeah.
In Creation, her face is completely plain. So in this one and in the third one, which she even has more of those markings, and her eyes are different. I don't know if maybe I'm crazy, but that's how I've seen the film. She just looked different in each film. And I think the scariest was when she didn't have all that. And I don't think it was necessary or needed. Like, it was like she had more blush on or some shit. Like,
Some rouge.
I'm gonna take pictures. I want to.
Dave, it has to be the same doll, because didn't he only make one in Creation?
He said 1 of 100. Yeah, because I think he did only make the one. We don't know for a fact that he made more, but we saw Creation of 1 of 100.
Yeah.
And then the guy, but hold on, when they went to church the next day, they said so and so wants the dolls, and then his wife said, "Come over, the dolls are ready to be picked up." So I don't know. That could have been insinuating more Annabelles, or maybe not.
Just other dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. It's cooler if there is just one Annabelle. That's fucking really cool.
Or else we'll get a Cult of Annabelle film.
Yeah. But anyway.
Finding anything in regards to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bummed. Again, 2 things. We see a pregnant girl stabbed in the stomach, and we see a carriage fucking smashed. And no
dead baby.
Yeah.
No dead baby.
Either one would have been cool.
No baby.
No baby.
Oh yeah, it would have been cool in a movie like that. I don't know. Don't tease me with that. Or actually, someone's gonna be that fucking ballsy and kill a baby, which doesn't happen much. But do that, and all of a sudden, wow, that is memorable. We would still be talking about that years later. About, man, they killed a baby in Annabelle. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen much. Anyway.
Well, this film actually has the highest death count compared to the other 2 films as well, right? I think when I was after I got done, I think like the total death count for the franchise or the trilogy is, I think, 7.
Yeah, there's really not that many actual deaths in it. It's more like just
Part 3,
haunting.
it's 0.
That's the thing about
No, that's not
supernatural.
true. That's not true. It's like an off-screen death, but the car accident.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I did count that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's 7 total, if my count's right.
Well, then part 2 has 3 of them. That's for sure.
Part 2 has the
Parents and the baby, the whole family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't count because it happens in this one.
No, I'm talking about Annabelle in Creation. The real Annabelle, B, gets killed in the beginning.
Hey, IMDb.
Yeah. IMDb.
Oh, I know what you're saying, Lacey. You don't count that as a kill because you feel that B gets brought back in another form.
Yeah, so it already happened. But no, you're right. I didn't count the mother, for Annabelle's mother. I didn't count her as a death. So it's 8, right?
I don't know. I'm thinking about Creation now. What an effective scene that was when B gets hit by the car. That's like the most fucking in the series. Oh my. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we're about to get to it, but
Yeah.
And she took a grill to the face.
oh,
I'll get it. Boom.
baby. Poor baby. Anyway, is there anything else we could say about this?
No.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, that part
1
is
to 10.
cringe.
1 to 10. What do you guys rate it? Ladies first.
Well, I think I'm probably the one that likes this movie the least. I didn't remember it like at all. It's a highly forgettable film in my opinion. Nothing really happens aside from, when the bitch sacrifices herself for nothing for me. I'm just not a fan of this film. I didn't find it scary in the slightest. The scenes that you guys thought were scary, I laughed at, and maybe sometimes watching movies with Dan Chase, even though it might be my favorite thing, maybe his opinion might deter me a little bit from.
It's my least favorite thing.
What? No, but I just. God, yeah. I did like it better than when I originally watched
Ratings?
it. I think the film started out good and it decreasingly didn't go anywhere for me. 3.5.
Whoa.
Woo!
See, 3.5?
I did.
Yeah.
Fucking hated it.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good. I think the cinematography's not really that good. I mean, there are a few positives, and you guys talked about them, and there's like 2 scares. I do like the elevator scare, and I do like the little girl turning into an adult. I think that's really creepy, but other than that, there's just not much. It's literally just like this woman hearing sounds in her house, and broad daylight too. There's just not an eerie atmosphere, and it's very bland. And I will say, I think I was very hormonal or something, because whenever the baby was born, I teared up, and then I was like, why am I tearing up at this horrible movie? But I didn't think it was the worst thing I've ever seen though. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10. So.
Oh, not bad.
You were more
Yeah.
generous than I.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I'll
I've
just
seen
go
way
next
worse.
because that's my exact rating. 100%, a 5.5 out of 10.
I won't
Wow.
waste any more time. That is my exact rating as well. 5.5, slightly above average. Not a great film, but certainly nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It was for me.
Wow. Well, I come in the highest, but only by the slightest of margins. I give it a 6.
Okay. Hall of Fame.
So.
Woo!
Hall of mediocrity. Okay. So that is that. Annabelle. Oh, I do like one thing. They do mention the married couple back east that could help, which is an obvious reference to, a little tie into the parents or the parents. The fuck. The parents. I said the parents was the family in fucking Conjuring 1. I'm sorry. Mama, yeah.
Oh, God. This
Warrens. Okay, so now we have Annabelle Creation. And a boy, rock and roll. Keep it up, homie.
17 pounds in 3 months.
Damn.
Fucking man.
That's, hey,
Keep going.
19 more to go.
except his hair keeps at him the same weight.
probably gaining weight from it.
Yeah. Look at that.
Nice
You should have just
brother.
shaved your head.
Yeah, why don't you shave? Like, that would drive me crazy.
Why don't you never cut it again?
I
look
have to get a
Don
cut.
King or Robin Williams and Flubber. I'm telling you.
I would just keep it going forever. I
spike
think
it.
it's great.
I think it's great.
I do. And it's going to get better as it gets longer because it'll weigh heavier and it'll form something. It'll be sweet.
That worked. It looked pretty good.
You're getting there, buddy.
How you don't have a girlfriend is beyond me.
Yeah.
Everybody
Stop it.
loves
It's
beef.
too small. That's why it goes. Yeah.
That's
I
what he
once-
said.
No, I once did it with a straw for my nephew at a Japanese restaurant, and it went up my nose, and I started gushing blood.
Oh,
I thought you were about to
Oh.
tell a sex story. I once did it with a stripper, but it was
Right.
See,
And it-
I didn't think Brenda was going to say that.
Yeah, Christian knows me well enough to know. Yeah, probably not.
Well, you have to wait for marriage or something, don't you, Brandon?
No, I'm Jewish. I'm not a weird Catholic.
a weird Catholic.
That's why Dave likes anal so much, because that's not really sex.
It's because I never get to do it in real life. It's fantasy. That's all it is. It's fucking fantasy.
The new normal.
Yeah, it's the new normal. Here we are.
After COVID, anal is the new normal.
Yeah.
When you've been watching it for fucking 20-something years.
God, it's just like, what the fuck? Why am I here? What happened? Get me out of here.
When
So
you've
we're
been
almost
watching
done.
sex for 20-something years, eventually the same old stuff doesn't work anymore. That's all I'm saying. Everybody moves on to something. And as long as it's not, animals or children or something, I say do whatever you like.
Yeah, as long as it's legal, it's fine.
Right, whatever.
Carly, is that a blanket or a poster of The Shining?
It's a curtain.
It's awesome
It's
too.
a blackout curtain.
Fucking
Like,
sweet.
it's just like right there and it's perfect.
Yeah, it sure as fuck is.
You should pull it back and have another curtain of Jack Nicholson.
That'd be cool.
Some endless curtains, like.
Yeah.
And then if you look back here,
Amazing.
Oh, we're recording.
Ready?
Are we?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
recording. Yeah, we ready?
Yep.
Wait, am I going?
So now here we are. I'll do it again.
So now here we are.
Annabelle Creation.
All right, Annabelle Creation from 2017. 12 years after the tragic death of their little girl, a doll maker and his wife welcome a nun and several girls from a shuttered orphanage into their home, where they become the target of the doll maker's possessed creation, Annabelle.
Now, this is the only one of all three to have landed on the top 100 list that everybody made. This was number 78 on the top 100 when we did it.
Oh,
And I actually, Yep.
comes home, eh? Wow.
yep, 78, and I had it at number 64. How about that?
Whoa, you guys have a terrible list. No, I'm just kidding. I actually enjoyed this more the second time, and I liked it the first time.
Nice.
So,
You did
yeah.
it.
I think this one, if you want to say anything, Lacy, to counter the playing it safe, this one I think is a little dark. This one I don't think plays it safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty evil. They're haunting a fucking crippled child, so yeah.
Tormenting this poor girl.
And like right away, they fuck. I literally in my notes it says, "Well, fuck, they just killed a kid."
Yep.
Immediately.
Dave's like, yes, a dead kid.
No, and I wasn't expecting. Like I thought it was like gonna do like a cutaway. I mean, you don't see like any blood spatter or anything, but I was expecting a cutaway like, Pet Cemetery, and it just alludes to the fact that she got hit. But no, they fucking straight up went for it, and I gotta applaud them for that.
And later you see the same truck and you still see B's head mashed into the grill.
Yeah.
And I like
That
that
was
they
a-
call her B in the beginning, because it takes you like an hour or so into the movie till you find out, hey, this is actually Annabelle, and this is where it begins. They don't show their card immediately. Oh, little Annabelle. You know what I mean? I think it's a smart move they do that. I think that when that does happen, it's an immediate. This movie is an immediate improvement over the first one. Right away with the cinematography, that shot that goes over the church up to the front it's something like that Juan would do. And this guy here, has written a lot of the stuff that's in. I think he ends up. I think he wrote all 3 of the. I could be wrong. I could be confusing him with the director of the next one. It is possible. It's very ancestral what's happening with him in this one and the next guy. I think where they're all on board with this series and Juan.
He wrote all 3.
Okay, so he was the one. Okay.
Yeah, and he wrote The Nun. He wrote it. He's written a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So he's written a lot of good stuff. But the thing, when Annabelle, I mean, when it first happened, it's like, wow, and I feel bad. And even watching it now, see, when I say I like to see it happen, I like to see it happen because it's memorable and it's a chance that isn't taken that much. But when it does happen, I always feel bad at that moment. Like when she runs out and the thing's in the street and she says, I'll get it. I literally out loud said, no, you won't. And I was like that because it fucks me up.
No, she did get it.
No, you won't. And then she fucking did get it. Right. But man,
it is effective. It's very effective.
I just get mad when they make it look like somebody is dead or should be dead, and then they cheat us afterwards of something impactful, like in this movie later on with that scene with with Janice, when fucking Janice blasts way up in the fucking sky there, and then she's held up for who knows how long because then her boot comes down like 20 seconds later, and then I even in the theater when I saw it, I was disappointed. Boom, girl fucking drops. That girl should have been fucking dead right there.
Well, she said put me down. She said put me down. This boot was made for walking.
No.
God, crickets. Fucking crickets.
I chuckled.
Because everybody feels like I do. There was a robbery. That girl should have been fucking dead from that fall. I'm sorry. When she was shown again, I was like, fuck that. That would have been a great
But
memory.
think of it this way. She's not Janice after that anymore. So
not much longer. Right. I know. But at that point, she still is. You don't.
Yeah,
get
that's true. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, she is because the barn scene is when she's not Janice.
She's already frail and small and fucking has polio. If anybody can't survive the fall, it should be her. She's a little bitty thing.
Was
and
that
she's
Marco Polio? Marco Polio.
Yeah, this is what we have to endure every show.
That's what they should have played in the pool, Marco Polio.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still like that scene though, that they drop a little. Just seeing a little girl drop to the ground like that is shocking. But I agree. I'm pretty sure I would be dead if that happened, and I don't have anything wrong with me, or at least, well, I mean, I guess she is like paralyzed, but
I didn't think of it till now. It would have. You're right. It would have been super effective. She could still be alive, but she should have been possessed at that point.
yeah,
She should have been dropped to the ground, and then the scene where B spits the blood into her mouth, or that should have happened there. So this way, when you see her return from the hospital, you're like, oh my God, how is she alive? But then you learn that Janice is long gone, and it's really just,
Annabelle.
She's evil. She's, the demon.
Is it blood or is it like demon juice? It's like just like
In
black viscous fluid.
In one of them it's black, and one of them it's blood. Maybe in part
I don't
three
like
it's blood.
it.
Maybe
I
in
don't
part
like
three
that
it's
they
blood.
do it. I don't like that they do it, and the reason is because they do it in The Conjuring too. They
Yeah.
read. It's like enough is enough.
Oh.
It's a
You know what I thought, and I'm not trying to be a dick. I thought it was a Mike Flanaganism. It reminded me of something that would be in one of his films.
It's a Juanism.
Yeah, it's a Juanism.
It is a Juanism.
I feel like this one, it is definitely a step up from the first one, but I feel like it missed a little bit of a moment, at least for me as a horror fan. And, I'm a big fan of Gremlins and that chair, the floating chair. Like, I wanted to see someone go flying fucking out.
Yeah.
I mean, instead, I get it. There was tension there to where, she's going down. But I feel like she could have crawled down a lot faster. So, I mean, that's just me being nitpicky. But, I mean, there was tension, and I did like that scene. But I really wanted to see her go fucking flying in that moment.
And I'm not trying to be insensitive either, but they set it up like she could walk still. I know she needs help. So, like, it's like, oh, how am I going to get up there?
She's only got a
And he
case of
lovingly
that
has
bad
the
leg, not the bad
Yeah, he's
leg.
got a case of the bad leg. Exactly. It wasn't plural.
Yeah, well, come on. Every day she has to go up and down that thing walking. She would exhaust her by the time she got up there. Remember, it's polio too. She's tired.
Gotta
Even when
put
she takes
one
the
foot
ride.
in front of the other.
The other foot down.
Well, she had no problem staying up playing with her dolls. How tired is she?
And I thought it was mean that Linda made her take the top bunk. No, that didn't happen. You're getting on top.
She didn't
Get
take
up
the
there,
top
wonky
bunk.
leg.
Yeah, she was joking.
Wonky leg is a terrible nickname, by the way.
It would have been great if the chair took her all the way up to the top bunk.
Then she could have been deagled. That would have been great. She could have flew all the way up and fucking right over the bed and out the window. Eagle. Oh, that would have been amazing.
Juan didn't give me what I wanted.
Damn it. That would have been cool. Fuck. Yeah, but remember, she was tired. This girl was tired. Remember at the top of the stairs when the girl says, when Linda wanted to go out and play with the other girls, are you going to come, Janice? And Janice said, I'm tired. So she was just tired from the strenuous activity of arriving there and being someplace new and having to ride up that thing. So she was already tired. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I think she just didn't want to go play with those bitches because she had to go confess about looking in the room that the fucking nun doesn't even let her, like, the nun, she's trying to tell her what's happening with the doll, and the nun just stops and she's like, stop right there. You're going to get us all kicked out of this place. Like, she didn't even get to express that this fucking doll is evil. And then she's like, okay, you're right. She's like, all right, you're going to say one Hail Mary, and then you're going to unpack 3 of these boxes. You're going to make this little crippled bitch unpack 3 fucking boxes.
Hey, she's got bad legs, not bad arms.
Where's she going to put the shit? Like, what, is she going to will herself and, like, put the stuff away? Like,
Should have made her do soccer drills. That
I
would have
don't
been real
know.
punishment.
I was
That's
not a fan
horrible.
of the nun. And I'm not talking about the movie. I wasn't a fan of that either, but I wasn't a fan of the nun in this.
Sister
I think
Charlotte.
she was a nun.
Yeah, Sister
Oh,
Charlotte.
the friendly nun?
oh,
Sister
you gotta
friendly?
punish.
Fuck her. She sucked.
Sister
Punishment
Christian.
is absolute.
She was a
Don't you know
terrible.
this?
No, that was what is she being punished for? Looking in a fucking room?
You know why though? Because if she would have got caught, they would have been out on the street. So she's saying
Yeah.
this is
But how is that a sin though?
See, I think this nun is very generous if you compare it to the Silent Night, Deadly Night nuns and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think she's very kind and forgiving. But
Punish.
I like this movie. Like, I think this movie's great, honestly. I think it's really creepy. I think all the scares are effective. And I think the little girls put on good performances,
Yes.
especially
I agree.
Janice.
I agree with the children give good performances. The adults, no, like so the little friend girl is outside and she's like, yeah, Janice looked in the room. Like, so he's obviously they're unaware that this shit is happening in their house. And then he
the
goes and
girl's closet.
he's like, you're never to go in that room. And then he goes inside and he dies like 30 seconds later. So I mean,
Well, I agree with everything Carly said about. I mean, I already said the look of the film was amazing. Dave brought it up at the beginning. You're already. The look of this film is fantastic. It's creepy, and it's got this richness to it, like from the color palette standpoint, to be a geek. Now, the performances are also great, and the sadness from the daughter dying and the whole orphanage kind of setup, it's all great.
Mm.
And then I find again, I do like this. I was gonna say love this. I do like this much more than the first one, but I still think the second half is not as good. I love the setup again of the movie. And then once it gets to the scare stuff, I still find it goes down that generic role. It's still better than the first. No question. Much better than the first. But there's something missing that I feel like I get in the third one.
Oh wow. See, I like this one a lot more than I did the first time around. And I liked it the first time. I think I'm in the almost great category here.
Right
because of the fact that it's not playing it safe and it's tormenting this poor little girl this whole movie. And the scares are much more effective, much creepier. The notes around the house, the Punch and Judy dolls.
That's fucking
terrifying.
Oh my God,
Terrifying.
That's the shit that scares me.
Yeah. The reveal of Annabelle in the closet and then how it plays out in the end, because you see the papers hanging there. You're like, what is this? What, they got newspaper hanging on there? And then the reveal of what that is and everything. It's just, I thought it was really, really well done.
I have major problems with this Bible wallpaper, you guys. Like,
Here.
like, okay, so
Bible
like
wallpaper.
Annabelle's supposedly evil and like she can like, spirits come or whatever. Why did no spirits try to come when the Bible wallpaper and she just easily gets put into the room?
Because
Annabelle.
the girls arrived. Because
No.
they were calling to the girls. There was no one to call to. You know what I'm saying? Because they even said that. They go, when the girls all arrived here, it awoken something in here. Because they had been there for 12 years, and the parents realized what was going on. At first, they were falling victim to it. They see B. When we get the story later, then they finally realize, okay, this thing's evil. We have to do this. Get it the fuck in here, lock it. Now, it's like all these young girls come around who, Annabelle was a young girl and she got killed. It's calling to them. That's what I took.
All right. No, I can sign on to that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you guys though. Like, so obviously, like Janice gets like thrown into the closet with Annabelle, right? And the and into the Bible wallpaper room. And how do you fucking explain that to the cops? Like, what do you even say at this point?
You probably can't tell them the truth, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and like there's just a hole and the child's gone, but Annabelle's just sitting there, and like they open it and there's like all these Bible like pages stuck to.
I think about that in a lot of movies, like at the end when it's a happy ending, and I'm like, well, how are you gonna tell the cops that everyone died by a ghost? You're not. You're going to prison for murder. Like, I don't know.
Even Alice at the end of Friday the 13th, I already said that. The cops are waving her over. I'm like, you're the prime suspect. Get the hell out of Dodge.
Like, run.
You're the only one alive. In this case, you could just say, they were orphans. Who's going to miss them?
Well, no, and then you have like the dickhead priest. The priest in this
you know what I would have said? I would have said someone else came and did the killing because the father's dead. The mother's dead. She's literally cut in half. A child couldn't do this. And then the other girl is trapped in a room with the big clock that was pushed over into it. So I would have said, hey, some fucking lunatic came here and fucking killed us and he was chasing the girls. One of the girls hid in this fucking closet. Can you help us move this thing? The killer trapped her in the closet. That's what I would have said, but that's me.
Well, no, obviously because the cops are still there at the end, so they had to like explain that the doll was possessed and they just bought it because the priest comes in. He was like, "This doll is no longer a threat. Which one of you wants it?" Like, what a dick! Like, what kind of priest would do that? And then the next scene is you just see the fucking cop throw it in the trunk of the car. So I believe it's
You're
the
right.
cop.
He should not have offered it. He just should have brought it to the cop or put in he should have. The back of the car. You're right.
He's like, there's no spirit attached to once that like you're supposed to be like if you knew like the trauma that these girls just fucking went through. Like,
yeah, I actually don't like that part. It's like comic relief, but
yeah,
a bunch of people just died and these little girls are traumatized for life. Not only are they orphans, but they just got haunted. So don't be making jokes, priest.
It's just showing his how much of a man of God he is. And look at it this way. He's showing them, hey, you know what? I believe you. I believe there was an evil presence here and all this happened. I'm not going to laugh at you and say you guys made it up and this and that. I'm going to say, I believe you. And just to go that extra mile to show you how much I believe you, I'm going to tell you that this thing, I believe what you said about this doll. But I also believe that this has just been exorcised. This is over with. This doll is safe now. It was just a conduit. Take it. Now you can have this doll and know that the fucking evil is gone because I'm a man of God and I witnessed it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously that wasn't the case because the doll still
just keeps haunting up a storm. I mean,
yeah. So
that's the one thing that doesn't make sense is
right.
No, it actually does. Wait.
What?
Okay, so
it's still trapped in there, no? Because that's why it's still
a conduit for evil, and then Annabelle comes back obviously to kill her parents.
Yes.
And then slits her throat with the doll that Mia has. Okay,
correct.
so
that's why it's evil again.
Okay,
but at that point, it's not evil.
At that point, no, it's not. And obviously, he wasn't there for the whole thing, so offering it up. I mean, I think we all have that note about him offering it.
12 years later. Why was it 12 years later?
Because that's when the events took place of the Conjuring in the next.
No, I understand, but why did
the kid had to
grow up? She seemed to be normal, and then 12 years later, did the doll find her? Is that what happened?
No, she was never normal. Yeah. The thing is, that's why she ran off at the end. She was possessed by the spirit that was inside the doll. It was transferred to her, so she remained evil. She even became Annabelle. Her name of
like
Janice is gone now.
Like, obviously she had a good home life with her foster parents or her adopted parents, because you see like her growing up with pictures, who looks nothing like her, by the way. She's like got dark hair and looks like she's been on meth for years. But I mean, I don't understand why it took 12 years.
I think she was a troubled kid, and they don't get into it. And then she ran off and joined that cult, and that's why she got into some satanic cult, because she already had it in her. So the way I see it is, then he goes out there and she goes out with her boyfriend and joins this Manson cult. This thing gets awakened, and maybe, who knows, maybe she was the fucking leader of the cult for all we know. But it was different times back then.
She could have been the leader of the pack.
I was
Big Mac.
the correct exact same joke. She was the leader of the pack.
And that was the same girl. They casted the same girl at the end of that they used in Annabelle, the first one, as the one at the end. So at least they tried to. And that is one thing about this franchise. They do have continuity throughout them. Like, they have certain lines that they use. I like your dolls. That happens in Annabelle 1, and then we see it come back in both of the sequels. So even though the first movie wasn't the strongest, I think they took that and they said, okay, let's really put a budget and put in a better effort and make better movies. And they did. I'm glad they did that instead of just,
I like that when they adopted Janice, they gave her like a real-looking Annabelle doll. Like a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lacy, I do agree with Lacy. I always thought that was weird that that girl was just normal up until she was like 18 or whatever, because all you see are these school pictures, so it doesn't really let on that she was a troublemaker. It makes it seem like she was a good girl, and then all of a sudden got all demon-like again. But at the same time, I think maybe it's just she was like, okay, I'm gonna grow up into adulthood and be stronger, and then wait till that to like go off and be culty and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like evil being reborn and having to wait to grow up, like the omen, like Damien waiting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Still probably causing mischief, but lying in wait.
That's true.
I feel.
Mischief.
I really like the movie. I like the relationship with the two girls. I love the relationship with Janice and Lindsay, and how they switched the dolls at that one point.
What about Linda?
Oh, pardon me, Linda. What'd I say, Lacy?
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay. Sorry.
Yeah, the other girls were all bitches. They're like, there's no room for you to sleep in here. Take Polio Girl and go sleep in the doll room.
Yeah, they were kind of mean, but it's typical.
It is. They were like the older ones.
They weren't that mean. But it made no sense why the one girl seemed like she was the exact same age as the other two.
Yeah, there was one like little girl, like she didn't even have any lines, because they had like the three girls, the two girls who was older. They had that other girl who seemed like she was older, and then they had like one little girl who was like with them. Should have been like 3 and 3.
Yeah, it was a little, but it shows how strong their relationship was. Just those two, that they were tight. We're gonna swear that if one of us gets adopted, we both go.
Yeah,
it's all good. I like how it all comes back later when she turns. And the whole thing about the line when she goes, you know what I like about, what was that girl, Sweet Sue? She looks just like you.
Oh, and her face is all cut up, yeah. Ooh,
that's good shit.
There's a lot of creepy shit in here.
There really is. That fucking scarecrow, to me, without a doubt, is the scariest and best fucking scarecrow ever done in a horror film.
Dude,
I don't think it's been done better.
I wrote down that the scarecrow in this movie is way more effective than any scarecrow in the movie Scarecrows.
Definitely. Or any
of the pizzas in Pizza.
Or Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. Or fucking those shit ones. What else is there? Scarecrow.
I like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I like the Scarecrow in that.
That's the next movie. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, basically. But I don't know. I don't want to keep talking about it. I'll let other people do, because I'll just go on and blow it, because I really think it's that fucking good. Seriously, I think it's that I think it's just as good as the two Conjuring movies, and I really like those two. This is the only one I feel that way about in the whole fucking Conjuring universe, that I think is that good. And here's the funny thing. First time I saw it, I was like 7 out of 10. I was just like, okay, it was fine. Then when I got home and I watched it, it got better, and then I watched it another time, and it got even more. And I've been that way ever since. It should,
even more better.
Even more better blues.
Is that a YouTube song? Even more better than the real thing, baby.
Wow, it's an off day today. I really like this. I mean, there's a lot of good hits, but once again, I just find that I get lost when the shit hits the fan a little bit, and I'm not in it like I feel like I should be for that final act.
I think
don't
you're
know
crazy.
why.
I think it's
final act.
It's effective. It's super effective. The well scene, everything that's going on, the chaos, the crucifixion of Mrs. Mullins. I think it's
Phantom of the Opera.
Mr. Mullins.
Mr. Mullins, yeah, with the fingers, terrifying, and then what he looks like.
That's the best part of the movie. That's the fingers being pulled off the crucifix.
Oof.
There was
the
no
best gag
in this movie either.
There's no what?
There's no exploding popcorn in this movie either.
No.
Lacy, you're gonna have to let that go. I know it's devastating.
The dumb waiter. I mean, it's really the whole house and all the scares and the barn, the scarecrow, the well, everything is used super effectively, much better and much more effective than the first film.
I find this one very rewatchable too. Even when I was done watching it, I felt like watching it again. And I actually just bought it on DVD yesterday. I found it out and about because I had to watch it online, but I was like, yay, because I like this. I would probably rewatch this over even the Conjuring movies, even though I do think those are a little bit better. I just think this one has something to it that I really like, and the scares get me like every time. So
right. It's like the Conjuring movie. It's the only one that I can directly compare to it. Even like when they do that ball gun scene when she shoots the ball, the ball comes out and then it raises up. Shit like that. There's like two or three sequences that work really well that seem like you could put those exact sequences in one of the Conjuring movies and nobody would bat an eye. It would be the same. That's where they belong. Wow. Same type of scares to me. And the third act is
part 3. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's so funny.
Like
that's exactly
goosebumps.
what I think. Part 3 could have been Conjuring 3. That's even like that's exactly what I thought when I was watching it. I don't know.
There's reasons
it's so
for
weird.
it. I'll meet you there. There are reasons for it, the presentation and the warrants and some other things. But I think once the action begins, I mean, we'll get to it. But this to me seems like a little slower moving, where it's just a lot of story, and then we're gonna have a sequence here that's scary. That's just like the formula of The Conjuring. To me, that's just what it's. I don't know. I like the relationships. It's just scary to me. There's the things they do, and like I said, the third act, everything that happens, and we get good kills.
Yeah.
It needed more kills, I suppose. I like the fact that the girl is smart, when she does cover up when she goes into the well and the thing comes up and grabs her and she pushes her down, and the nun says, "What was that?" And the girl says, "Who cares? Just get out of here." That's a smart girl. Usually, it's the parent telling them, "Get out of there." But I don't know. I have a lot of notes, and I can't just sit here and read them. But man, every time I watch it, I'm just really comfortable with it. I just think it's
the backstory too makes perfect sense. Why the parents would believe it's perfectly explained why their daughter would come to them and want to be put in a doll. Like they didn't know they were being fooled.
It's sad.
It's very sad. It's
you know what
sad.
I mean? You have the grieving parents and the mother who's fucked up all this time now for all these years because of it, bedridden, and this guy trying to make things right and to bring some joy back into their house, and they're religious people and they're trying.
And for that reason, they give good performances, because at the beginning they're all lovey-dovey, playing hide and seek, leaving the notes and stuff, tickling little Annabelle and stuff like that, having a good time. And then all of a sudden, like when it gets to the meat of the film, they're sort of shells of their former selves.
Yeah.
Which makes sense given what they've been through.
Yeah, there's good character stuff here.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's done well. And then there's the scary stuff, like that one scene when she's looking in the diary and it says, "Dear diary, today I came home," and shit like that, right? And then that one part, which some people might not like, but I think it's great. It actually works. When she goes, "What do you want?" She turns, she goes, "Your soul." That fucking, I think it's great. And the sheets. Yeah, dude, with it walking, getting closer to her, it's gone.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
I like that really subtle scare too, where they're in the room and the doll's face, Annabelle's like looking this way, and then you look over and her head's like turned, and the girl's like, "We shouldn't be here," but she doesn't even say like, "That doll just moved." It's just like, "Yeah, we shouldn't be here." She notices something is off, and that's really creepy to me.
I agree. Man.
Every scare, like I like the one where, you know, when they think they bring their bee back, and she just all of a sudden morphs into that huge, scary adult form type of thing. That I think that's terrifying too. Like her arms grow and the way she mutates. Some people might think that's like Some people might not like that and think it's generic, but I thought it was effective.
She was popping and locking.
Right. Yes.
Slenderman style.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, man.
I do too.
It's a good story. That's all there is to it. Just there's so many characters to actually give a shit about, and the relationship with the parents and losing the daughter, the two girls, the one girl's sick, and everything that happens there. And did you guys realize that? And I know everyone may not be a fan of the nun here, but I believe that is the nun. Remember that one scene when she's in the wheelchair when she gets back from the hospital and Sister Charlotte's there, and then she leaves. Then all of a sudden she's being pushed all the way to the well, and it's someone in a nun's outfit, but it's not Charlotte. So I think that's actually Valak, is what the.
It wasn't Valak. It was actually Sister Christian, because the song came on. Oh, the time has come.
But yeah, I thought the same thing, Dave. Yes.
It makes. I want to go back and watch The Nun now. I really do, and I like it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was.
I owe The Nun a rewatch. I was not a fan of The Nun, but I do like the tie-in here, the photo, and of course, you know, I agree with you. The wheelchair scene, that makes sense, and certainly, you know, the end just flashing to 1952 and giving us that teaser that The Nun is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's solid, man. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything else. If anybody else wants to talk about it or has questions or anything, because.
No, you actually answered a big question for me. So, and that actually is probably going to make my rating go up. So.
Was that question, is Annabelle Creation awesome? Because the answer is yes.
No.
Yeah, I'm not at the awesome. That's for sure. I like it.
Oh, come on.
I'm not at the awesome.
I mean, with Dave's explanation of, you know, there was no conduit with putting the Bible paper up, that was a big problem that I had with it. And your explanation actually made me go up on my rating. So
awesome. I love when that happens on podcasts. Sweet.
That's cool when they open it up and you see that Janice burrowed out of there.
There's a hole in the wall.
It is cool.
She ate through the wood.
Chased it from Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah, she did.
No, you won't. I fucking love that movie.
Good move.
Right on. Well,
ratings?
Go ahead. You guys want to rate? Go on. Please do. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I loved it. I'm at an 8.5 out of 10 on Annabelle Creation, which is going up to, like, I used to be just at an 8, but this time around, I was like, you know what? I really like it. 8.5.
Sweet.
Going into this podcast, like I said, I did like it a lot better than I liked the first one. I was at a 6. I've come up quite a bit, I think, anyways, because you did answer my question. Stop it. You guys did answer my questions. I still have some issues with some of the films, or some of the plot line of the film. But because of the, little girl dying right at the beginning, and her haunting, it is a pretty disturbing fucking movie when you add in those elements. And I liked the tie-in, so I'm up to a 7.5.
Nice. That is a nice leap.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, my rating's been the same for a while. That's why it made my top 100 movies. And it
13 out of 10.
It's an 8.5, same as Carly. Love it.
I'm at a 2. I think it's awesome, but it's only worthy of a 2. No, I'm at an 8 out of 10. I used to be at like a 7.5, but I'm at an 8.
Nice.
And I'm at a 7. I think it's a good movie. It's definitely a step up from the first.
Why do you hate horror movies so much, Christian?
Why is a 7 a bad rating?
No, it's
like a bad rating.
It's like what crazy. I did with what was that movie? With
Mayhem, or that fucking other one?
No, the other one.
The Belko Exchange.
Belko Experiment. Yeah.
It's like me and Black Christmas, 8 out of 10. Oh, Dave Z hates that fucking Black Christmas.
Yeah, Belle.
What the fuck?
I love that. I love movies when it ties into like one of the crucial scenes in part 1. I like that.
I love the way
Yeah.
they wrapped it up.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Wow, that's how you fucking do it.
It went
man.
on just a little too long. Both my daughter and I, total agreement. Agreement for the whole series, ratings, feelings, everything. Without just like, what do you think? Boom, let her talk. But we always thought, why did they go off to that one extra scene? It goes like they had the point. They could have had the scream, her wake up, and it could have just ended at the end of the movie instead of taking
You
it.
know what? I didn't
just
know you
one
guys
extra
give your feelings also in Canada. Let's give our feelings on the
Feelings.
show.
Yeah.
Feelings?
Feelings?
Happy.
I have none. I've been dead a long time.
That's a good way to be. It's a good way
Hell
to
yeah.
That's
Daisy
what I told Brandon. It's true. Dead inside's the way to go, kids.
dead inside.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Fuck emotions. Don't be a bitch like me. Oh, I'm watching Sons of Anarchy again, and I get so emotional. No other show makes me fucking as emotional as fucking Sons. There I am fucking, I can't even watch it with people around because I've legit in fucking 5 seasons, I've cheered up 5 times. And I'm not ashamed to say it. It's a 7-season fucking tragedy.
You should
with
be.
some happy moments. I don't care. I'm telling you, it
I'm
does
joking,
have
I'm
that
joking.
effect on me. The characters and how often I get into it. But yeah, I wish nothing affected me that way. Life would be
Hearing
better.
that
But
makes
anyway.
me wish I never filmed that VHS video defending your honor.
Can I please get a copy of this video? I need to see it.
It's on the page.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
Or
YouTube. It's
the link
everywhere.
is
It's not on the page.
I want a copy of it on VHS so I can smash it.
I need to see this video, and I know Dan would enjoy it as well. Consider it a
I'll send you
birthday
the link.
present.
Yeah.
It
I'll
is
send the link.
brilliant. It should be a double feature with Nerds and Suspiria.
Yes, it should.
It really should. Christian's
Well,
been
thank
on
you.
fire. Christian's been on fire lately.
We have
Now
200.
I'm getting emotional.
ratings now.
Like I'm watching Sons of Anarchy here.
What a prick.
Yeah. I had a nickel every time I heard that.
You'd have no nickels.
Yeah, I'd have.
You'd be like, ugh.
I owe money.
What a
I
small
owe
prick.
you.
What a small
Yeah.
prick, baby.
Oh,
All right, are we doing the last movie? Does anyone need a break?
I'm ready to go.
Breaks.
Let's get into it. Annabelle Comes Home. This one's from 2019. While babysitting the daughter of Ed and Lorraine Warren, a teenager and her friend unknowingly awaken an evil spirit trapped in a doll. Well, it shouldn't be a teenager and her friend. It should just be her friend. Mary Ellen didn't do anything.
Well, the other girl fucked it all up. I
Yeah.
was so angry when she fucking. That was the robbery in this movie. That bitch got fucking stabbed in the stomach with a knife and fucking somehow
Yeah,
didn't
that's
die.
what I'm saying.
And she deserved to be dead. She fucking set off this whole thing. That asshole. She did. She fucking. Everyone's life got threatened because
It's
she
the
can't follow the
story behind it. This is the best character. In my opinion, this is the most relatable characters
But
you
she
actually
lost her
care
father,
about.
I
It's
get
got
it.
heart. It's got heart. It's fun. I mean, the biggest critique of this one is maybe being at the one location, the house, but they use it well with the fact that it's got the outside part. But I love it, and you know why I think I love it, and you're gonna laugh, but it feels like a more ramped up Goosebumps.
Hey, that's what I said earlier.
Yes.
This to me is
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay,
this
you
is.
said that already earlier
Yeah,
today.
when you were
Sorry.
talking, you said something about scary stories in the dark with this character, and I said, the next movie is scary stories in the tell in the dark or Goosebumps. I said
You're going to have to edit that out, Christian.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to be original.
That is my comparison.
Oh, I
It's
love
like
it. I'm
fucking
with Christian
Goosebumps.
on this.
I
I'm with
don't. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm not saying I don't like it at all. My ratings actually, it's actually come up. I enjoy the movie. I just think that they used an F word one time, and they had that stabbing scene that were thrown in just to make this movie R. This was filmed as a
This is an
PG-13.
R-rated?
Yeah, it feels like a
feel like-
fucking PG-13 movie, but they
Yeah.
want to go for the R because everything else in the Wannaverse is. So they threw in a F-bomb and they threw in a stabbing. They make it look a
Copyright
little
Jamie
bloody.
Salmons.
It was a fake stabbing.
Trademark.
I know it's that robbery does piss me off. But here's the thing. In the third act in this movie, the difference is this. They are throwing things at you the whole time. It does feel like Goosebumps to me. The positives are that it adds credibility having the Warrens in there, and even the beginning with the fucking scroll, like The Conjuring. It could have. I see what you're saying. See, it's like a Conjuring 3 more than the other two. It feels like The Conjuring in that respect. But once we get to the meat and potatoes of it just being the children and everything being so predictable, what was going to happen, and one random monster after another, it just had that Goosebumps effect on me, which is fine, but not for this, I guess. And I'm not knocking the movie at all. That's just my critique. That's it.
And I was just going to add on to that, Lacy. I apologize. It's just that I don't disagree with you, but that's what keeps it from maybe reaching even a higher level for me. But what we've got, it's still my favorite of this series, and I just love it. And this is the one, Carly, you mentioned the other one. I could just put this on again and rewatch it. And it's a camaraderie amongst the kids. Like, even though that you're complaining about that girl getting the one that gets stabbed. It's like she does it because of the dad, and I thought she brings the girl the roller skates. I mean, it's such an anarchy to me, Dave. I'm tearing up. There's like heartfelt emotion there. You're like, oh, even though she wants to get into that room, she's still nice. She brings the kid roller skates. The kids don't want to come to her birthday. At the end, there's some cool stuff here that I think just round out the whole film.
And she mentioned
I like the heart of it. I do.
The heart of it's the best part of it. And she mentioned that she touched everything. So the fact that she awakens all these spirits in the Warrens' room, fantastic. So many spirits awakened in this film that are so much more interesting than Annabelle to me. And that's why I love it. The ferryman, awesome. That samurai guy, awesome. The bride with the cursed dress, awesome.
I like the bride.
Yeah, there's so much awesome stuff here, and I just love it. It's a great introductory horror film, I think, for kids.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that as I was watching it, and I was like, this would have been a good kind of pick for, the Slumber Party Massacre, feature review at some point maybe, because, it's got the girls and whatever. The first time I watched it, this was actually my favorite of the three. The first time, it did not hold up for me on rewatch. There were parts of it I liked, but I seen myself being very critical because maybe I watched them all, back to back to back, and maybe I was a little Annabelled out. Sometimes that happens. I should have split them up, but yeah, it's been a busy week.
I could see people being disappointed because you have the Warrens introduced at the beginning here.
Yeah,
you get the creepy scene with the car accident, and Ed almost, takes a truck to the face. Good stuff. But then the Warrens disappear. So it's not the Warrens and Annabelle, and you think this is going to be a serious dark film. It's much more of like a Goosebumps. You're right, it is. But that I loved it for that.
Yeah.
No, it's not a bad film, but I mean, I just had, like I said, it does have the promise of the Warrens, and you don't get them. And it's funny that you were mentioning Insidious earlier, Dave, because in my notes I have written, so the Warrens versus Lynn Shay. Who are you going to call upon if you're having a supernatural thing? Who would you guys call?
I'd call Robert Shay.
Call.
Hey, producer movie.
Ghostbusters?
I'll tell you.
I'd call the Warrens.
Indeed. I like the Warrens. People fucking shit up. But I'll tell you, in real life, the daughter, I looked her up after the movie. I think her name was Judy, whatever it was. She believes in this stuff and everything else, but she will not go to this day. She will not go in that room. She inherited that when her parents passed away, and she gave it to her husband. Because she goes, I don't want to go in that room. She goes, when I had a scary type childhood, I was very young when a few things happened. I was terrified of two things, and one of them was that Annabelle doll behind that thing. And she goes, I have experienced a few things, but I was always fearful to go down that road because I saw the way my father was, the way my mother was. And so I stayed away. She goes, one time I had a dream, and I'm not going to tell you what happened publicly because it involved a family member passing away, and it actually happened. I don't want to hurt anyone in my family. But she seems 100% legit. She talks about her parents saying that even when my father got older and sick and he became like bedridden, my mother, out of the goodness of her heart, used to answer the phone and talk to people that were having problems free of charge, people that she dealt with or knew through somebody. And she would sometimes be on the phone with people till 3, 4 in the morning, calming them down and talking to them. And then when she felt ready that they were good, she would go to bed. But the way she talks about it, her mother was all about this and getting the feelings, and her father was all business as far as, we have to take care of it in a certain way. But when you listen to her talk about it, I've heard so many people dispel the real Warrens and saying that they were shysters and they were all about the money. But when you hear her talk about it, I don't know, it painted like a different type of view for me. And I don't want to get into the real life of it, but I was just curious about it. So
how about that house? Not to cut you off, but I'm going to. That house is amazing. Like, it's so retro. My daughter said, I want to live in that house. It's like, it's cool again. Like everything, right?
I want to live in the artifact room, in the case of Annabelle.
Yeah.
You belong there.
As her crazy fucking cousin, Orlok. Orlake. But we'll call you Orlok because it's scary.
Orlok, yeah. I like the 70s aesthetic. That's something else I like about this movie. The style, the clothing, the soundtrack, all the fucking.
Yep.
Soundtrack's fucking mint.
Bob's Got Balls.
Like the Conjuring.
Bob's Got Balls.
That's cute. That's funny. I dig that. That stuff is nice.
Everybody knows it.
I'm not. Oh, the parents even know it. It's fucking funny.
That's funny. Hey, Bob's Got Balls. Like, that's funny. The callback to that thread is great.
It's cool. I just think ultimately it tries too hard, especially in the third act, to throw out one thing after another. It gets a little bit like predictable, like when they say, okay, well, here's the ferryman. Oh, he happened to kill a girl, look just like you. Boom. As soon as that happens, he's going to haunt that girl later. There was just like certain things that this movie was an hour and 44 or whatever the fuck long. This was the one movie that I think the most you could have cut 15 minutes from and stepped back just a little bit. And just not had a scare a minute like it was because then that's why it seemed too goosebumpy, kitty. Like every other minute something new was coming at you, and that's it's okay. I just prefer the slower burn and the sequence scares that we get in Annabelle Creation and The Conjuring, where there's more build up to it. That's just me personally, I guess.
I think they just, again, in sequelitis or sequel world, they have to ramp it up a bit so they have more coming at you. But you probably like the scene that I think is where the movie sort of stops dead for a bit. And it's not a very long sequence, but it pulled me out the first time. And upon rewatch, it just is a little slow. It's with the coins dropping. Still effective, but I think that one goes on a little.
Yes.
There we go. I had to hit it. That one goes on a little too long.
Crazy.
So I wish they tightened that up because that pace was boom, 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 boom. But I knew it because it is effective. I just wish it just went on a little long for me. And Dave, you probably love that part because it was the one that was drawn out the most out of all the scares.
I do like it. And I kind of like the TV scene, although I wish it wasn't her because I couldn't stand that girl by that point. And I wish it would have been someone else. And it was so obvious. You know why? I hate... There's the kid in 28 weeks later that fucking sets off the whole thing. I hate him. I hate the little girl in Pan's Labyrinth who eats that grape because she fucks everything up just because she had to eat one fucking...
Another Ram Man recommendation.
And then this girl here had to fucking... You know what would have been really smart in this movie? Is if when they first brought the Annabelle doll home, have it behind the glass that they mentioned and have it there. But after the events of this movie, that's when they should have put that piece of paper on there that said, positively do not open. To me, that would have been, after the events of this, now let's put this on because of what happened. I think would have been a better tie-in for The Conjuring. I think it would have been cooler because that girl, of everything, it says positively do not open. That's the last fucking thing to touch in that whole place, and your dumbass fucking goes through all these searches to get keys to open it. Just like that kid in the Evil Dead remake who takes every fucking step, pliers, to open up a book that says do not read. It just bothers me because they cause trouble for everybody else.
Does it bother you?
Did safes not exist in, the 1970s? Like lock safes? Did they not exist? Because it almost feels like, look, it feels like they're like putting her on display. Like, look how evil I am.
Yeah.
Bow
down to me.
It is true. I mean, they had those Acme safes.
Yeah, like,
No, but the glass was from a church, so it's sacred. It's like a
So they
double
should have
barrier.
double bagged it. They should have double bagged it, put her in a safe. They should have put her in a safe
I did that
and then put
last
the glass
night.
over the
yeah,
safe.
put her in a plastic fucking
Did
bag.
you put one over your head?
Yeah, I put one over my head while I masturbated.
It feels like putting her on display, like, look how evil this little bitch is. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry.
Exactly. In real life, the Warren should have put her in her safe and then put a bag over the safe and then put the glass over all that. So don't fucking touch. And
And
don't.
then the ferryman could have put the coins in the safe, and they could have bumped Annabelle on the head. This
Yeah,
is
but it's like-
ridiculous. These complaints are
It's like,
Why is that
like,
ridiculous?
like securing the evil or whatever. I get it, but at the same time, they have all these things up on display. Am I moving my hands too much? Is that what's going on?
No. I was just saying if they're in a safe though, she could just try to crack the safe. Put like the little glass.
Stethoscope. Yeah. Isn't your dad a doctor? I think there's a stethoscope in this house. That bitch probably would have done that in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we obviously wouldn't have a movie, but the fact that they actually displayed these things in real life is really kind of baffling, you know? So that's
I guess
where
they wanted it out in the open and they had it blessed once a week was their deal.
Exactly.
But I hear you. I think they wanted to have their eye on them too. Like
Yeah.
by putting them away, you can't see what could possibly happen. So
What
You know-
darkness are you displaying today, Tin Man with the quarter eyes?
But I kind of, like, I would, if I had access to that room, I feel like it would be hard for me not to touch everything because of how nicely it's
Well,
displayed,
Dave will hate
especially
you.
the doll.
Dave
I
hates you.
wouldn't hate her for touching the clock or touching the TV or any of that stuff, but unlocking a fucking thing, searching out a key to get behind a box that literally
effort.
says positively do not open. That's grounds for fucking you're an asshole. I'm sorry.
She was trying to push her back into
She
place.
gets rewarded in this film as well. She's not even supposed to be there, and she's like the main fucking star of the film. And at the end, she totally gets rewarded by, Lorraine. And she's the one who fucked everything up.
Well, in the alternate
Almost got her
version,
daughter killed.
in
If
the
you almost
alternate
got her
ver-
daughter killed, fuck you.
in the alternate version, Lorraine tells Daniela that her father does not forgive her and that he'll see her in hell. And it was her
I
fault.
thought you were actually like telling me something.
Slam cut the final credits.
Slam cut to Christian destroying a
Exploding
VHS tape of Annabelle.
Dupe you bitch.
I love Daniela. I thought she was a great character.
Yeah, I
felt
agree.
for her.
Brandon.
Believe me, I felt for her. She lost her father. She was curious about apologizing and speaking to him in the afterlife. I get what they're saying.
Yeah.
I
I
just
teared
wish,
up a few times with that too, the whole father aspect and just her wanting to, like, when she sees him in that house across the street or whatever, wherever they were, and then she goes over there and she's like trying to find him and stuff like that. That did impact me, but I don't know. I'm not going to go through those extents to try to talk to my loved one again. Like, mess with
I don't want to freak you out, Curly, but I think Danny's head just turned. Like it just looked like it moved.
Imagine that it was on the other side looking.
Yeah.
Was it Michael's mouth open on that blanket?
Yeah.
No, I got a question for you guys real quick. Are the Warrens terrible parents because it was her fucking birthday and they just leave her with a sitter?
It wasn't her birthday. Her birthday was a few days later.
They were
just
celebrating early.
Celebrating early.
Okay, that makes it. Well, I know that a lot of times, like, you have a birthday and then you don't celebrate it till later because in this one they give her a cake. So I thought it was her actual birthday, and then they just had the party later.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that happened. Like, Dan and I are doing a birthday dinner with the family in a couple weeks. But yesterday it was just him and I.
Right.
So, that's what I thought. I thought maybe that the parents left her overnight with a fucking sitter on her actual birthday, and they're like, "Well, no, we got a party planned for you that maybe nobody's even gonna come to because they think you're gonna possess them."
Poor baby. See, I felt bad. That's something else about the heart of the movie is that I felt bad for Judy, and this is one case where sometimes I like a happy ending in a horror movie. In this case, I do.
But
I'm not heartless.
What
But
about
it doesn't
Punch?
make sense though. It doesn't make sense for it to have necessarily a happy ending. I get it.
For
Whatever.
the party though.
Yeah, because just because she talked to her brother am I still invited to your party? Can I please come in? Even though your house was just possessed and that's what I've been making fun of you for like the past whole movie. Like
I don't think Daniela told him about that.
I'm
I just
sure.
told him, why don't you be nice to Judy? She's a good kid.
What kid listens to his older sister though?
Yeah.
When
If he showed up to my house, I would have popped
Mary
him.
Ellen said to Anthony earlier in the film, you want me to tell your sister? She's like, no, please don't tell her. So, of course, he's going to listen to her because she's a badass.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, with everybody, it seems a little too corny for them to get the very happy birthday. Maybe if it was like a couple of kids, but you see them just like all, like, it's like
Anthony's the popular kid. He talks to one kid and they all come to that party.
I get it, but like, I just don't see, like, I don't
It's
know.
a little bit. I know.
Oh.
I could see what you're saying. It's a little bit too much, but at the time I was like, it was a movie magic type thing where this girl got a happy day. So
Oh, no damn
I was
heart.
sucked emotionally.
I do
Huh?
have heart, just, it has to have a payoff for me.
Well,
now,
then
I will
have an
say,
enlarged
guys,
heart.
I will say, like, one of my favorite movies of all time is Waxwork. And I love when, monsters come to life. And so the first time that I watched this movie, I was watching, I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. I wish they had been a little bit scarier, though, on this second watch. It played it a little too safe for me, and I wish, like, the quarter in the eye thing was just really dumb for me this go around. It like you guys said, it did overplay it, and especially, like, when she's holding the blonde is holding the Annabelle doll, and she's got the fucking quarters in her eyes. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it was borderline corny for me at times with the monsters, but it is cool. It is a cool concept, but you're right, it is very, like, R.L. Stine goosebumpy.
Yeah, I don't find this one very scary. I just more so think it's the fun one out of all of them.
Yeah.
I think the most goosebumpy
Yeah, it is
aspect,
fun.
which I don't like, is when the love interest boy is outside and that dog thing. I can't stand that. Like, I don't think that's scary. It's very...
Should have killed him. That would have been the one thing this movie could have ramped up and had a shocking kill. Don't get me wrong. I like his character, and it would have gone against it, but that would have been the death to do.
Should have bit his balls off so Bob has no balls.
It did lead to comedy. There is unintentional comedy in this movie for me.
What, the chicken? The chicken? Come back? Come back.
Yeah.
And then
I think that was intentional.
And he says
We were
sorry
laughing.
as he's closing the door.
You don't know.
He's like, sorry, and he's closing the coop.
Believe it or not, though, that would be me. I don't like being in a house all alone, but if you have anything in the house with me, any other living thing, I don't give a fuck if it's a goldfish, one cat, I feel comfortable. I don't like being in an empty house in the dark, sleeping overnight. I've been this way my whole life. But if I have a dog or a cat, just any other living thing near me, I feel fucking safe.
Would you guys go visit the room? Like, would you go visit the room?
Tell me
Because
Wiseau?
white guy probably.
Tell me Wiseau's room? Mark.
I would look inside. I would look inside, Lacy. I wouldn't venture and walk around and touch everything. I would look.
You wouldn't touch anything.
I wouldn't touch. I would just look.
Oh,
I
hello,
admit-
Mark.
Would you? Well,
I
would
would
you?
touch everything with my elbows.
Would
Again,
you
just-
do it, Christian?
I would be freaked out. I think I'd go in and I'd probably peer in and go, yeah, that room's not for me.
I'd dance with the
Do you
samurai.
think? Do you think you could just feel like the negativity? Like, do you guys believe in this shit? Like, I'm curious.
Believe in
I've never-
negativity?
So, yeah.
Not until you came on the show and started giving such low ratings.
Oh.
I gave a high rating. Christian came in lower at fucking.
I know, Christian's a fucking
Creation.
skunk.
Fuck you.
I don't know. I've never had anything happen to me. Like, you go places and it's like you can feel like like I went to Gettysburg and it's like you can feel the eeriness of the place when you get there, and I've never had any feeling like positive or negative.
What's the address for that?
I told the story. I think we've shared stories on the show before, and again, I'm always like, I'm the naysayer. I'm like, oh, come on, whatever. But I experienced something, and funny enough, Oshawa. We've told the story about it. Was a house that there was a commercial being filmed. I was a lowly little PA. And I was on it, and they were filming a whatever commercial they were filming. Who could fucking remember? But I
Like
looked
some
up,
choir commercial.
saw somebody in the window, and I'm like, I go to the bucket. I go, is this like a Victorian piece or something like that? Because it just looked like this guy was in garb. And I've told the story before, so I'm trying to make it quick. And like just all dolled up. They're like, no, but this place is haunted. It's been known to be haunted, and it's all on like there's
It
a
was probably
Canadian
Annabelle if
paranormal
he was
show.
all dolled up.
Yeah, but I swear I saw him, and there's nobody dressed like that. It was a regular old commercial. They're just using the location. So I definitely saw this guy standing in the window watching over everything. It was
Yeah.
If I
kind
was
of
the guy
freaky,
you
that-
asked, I would
that
have been
was
like,
it.
"Are you real? Did you just use the word garb?"
No, that's
Are you-
creepy. I mean, when we did go to Gettysburg, it was JP and I, we went on a ghost tour and we took a picture of this one, I forget what place it was. It was like some sort of house though. And on his we took the exact same picture, and for some reason his camera, it looked like there were faces in the window and mine like was clear. So that's like the only somewhat creepy thing to happen. So I am open-minded, but I just feel like, I don't know. I've never had a ghost come up and be like, "Hey, what's up?" or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to
The only
say.
thing for me that's ever happened that I feel is kind of paranormally, and I did explain it on the Paranormal Activity show, was the sleep paralysis. But I definitely believe in negative energy, and I feel like when you're negative and like living in that space, like I do believe in ghosts, and I think that it attracts it. So I would not step foot into that room because, like, if I'm having a fucking bad day, it might follow me home. So,
But do you believe in magic?
do I believe in magic?
And a young girl smile.
Well, I mean, I met Dan Chase, so yeah, there's magic.
Ah,
Ooh.
boom, knocked it out of the park.
I'll tell you.
Is he awake?
dude,
He
I
must
had-
be awake now.
No, he's not. He's not. No, he's out. He's out. He's downstairs snoring on the couch.
Is he in that
Oh.
closet feeding you notes?
Tell
No,
him
I've had some
magic.
things
All,
happen to me.
all the movies are in there.
I
Like,
thought you said all my exes are in there.
there's a few that I might want to put in there, but no, they would go in that over there, that shelf,
Oh,
or
okay.
that closet.
Get 'em.
They go in.
Chopped
They go
up.
to that storage space.
For like a 3-month period at my mother's house when my brother and I still lived there, like right before I moved to Vegas, so towards the end of the 90s, there were strange occurrences that had happened. One after another for a short time, just like little, it started off small, but then some strange coincidences happened. Once him and I were talking in the kitchen about the incidents happening, and then for no reason, on top of the microwave, my mother had a couple like papers there between like the microwave and the shelf, and a piece of paper flew off the top of the microwave and landed on the counter, and I looked, and written on the piece of paper it said David and Michael, and that's me and my brother. Again, it was written for a reason.
get
The
milk.
fact that it came out at that very minute and landed there, and there was more. We were talking about it again one night. We were kind of like scaring ourselves a little bit, and then this is like 1:30 in the morning on a fucking Friday night going into Saturday morning, and we had 2 different phone lines in the house, and this one phone line kept ringing. We would answer, nobody would be there. Then it stopped. Then the other phone line. Then the other phone line started ringing, and nobody had both numbers. One was my mother's phone, and one was the one that my brother used. And the percentage of people that have both numbers happened to be in the house with us that night. It was a fucked up thing.
The
So
call is
things
coming
happen.
from in the house.
So now I go into basements all the time by myself at work. And I go into certain buildings that are like fucking, they're non-operated, they're closed. Big buildings, scary buildings, sometimes churches, all this shit. And I go and I read electric meters and, gas meters in these basements. And I will tell you this, to this day, I still am uncomfortable. I have to go in these places and go in the basement with a flashlight and go out. And there's one place I walk down this one thing. It's like a bowling alley. It's a real tiny bowling alley in this basement. There's like 2 or 3 lanes. I don't know why it's there, but I walk down it, and every fucking time as I'm walking, I'm not.
You're right.
I don't just walk towards the fucking meter and go in different rooms to find the meters. As I'm walking, I'll do this with a flashlight, and I'll turn around and I'll look behind me because I get thoughts. I don't like it. I do believe in evil, and I am afraid
I don't like
of
these
fucking
thoughts.
things like. No, seriously, I'm afraid of shit like those puppets that show up in fucking Annabelle Creation. Shit like that, and like I've talked about being afraid of a rocking chair or a rocking horse that
Yeah.
rocks for no reason. Those type of that's the type of stuff that scares me in real life. And I dread fucking anything. Even just hearing a voice or a noise in a place where I'm the only person there in the dark, it fucking terrifies me. And I have to do it as part of my job. I mean, I don't go crazy about it. I'm not fucking quivering, but I am definitely looking around and not comfortable.
I went to a concert once and they rocked for no reason, and it scared the shit out of me.
You're gonna have like amazing dad jokes one day, Brandon.
I have them now.
One day.
No, see, this might sound like really fucked up, but I would rather be chased by like a slasher serial killer than have anything paranormal happen to me.
Amen, sister. I'm with you.
Straight up.
It's scary. It's fucking scary.
See, maybe it's just because of the like. I come into the basement if it's dark at night. Sometimes, especially if there's a noise. When I told you that one story, my wife, there's a noise. It's like I think someone is in the house. I'm like, okay, well you go walk. I'm sleeping. And I was comfortable. Now I'm all terrified. But when you come back down here, the thing, Lacy, that I'm freaked out about is just coming down, and then just what if just two eyes open in like the middle of nowhere or something like something disappears. Like I'm like. That would fucking terrify me. Like you just know that you get that feeling where it just your whole body just drains.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh God, it's terrifying. But I don't know, how did we get on this?
I don't know.
Being haunted to Annabelle, but the thing that I would be freaked out the most is if you open your door to like let your dog out and there's like somebody just sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah.
And then you're just like dead. Like there's you can do. But I have those thoughts.
It happened to me.
My dog takes forever to go out. I'm like, a serial killer could come and kill me right now. Who? Come on.
What if
it happened to me?
What if you let your dog out, but a different dog comes back in?
Oh.
That'd be fucking scary. Holy
Shih Tzu that comes back.
I would be sad.
I'd be freaked out more than sad. A fucking another dog replaced it? Oh my God. It's scary. Especially if it was on a leash. If I let my dog out to go potty at night, I put a fucking leash on it and let her go back, and she comes back and it's a different dog on the same leash.
On the same leash, wearing your dog's collar, everything.
Oh my God.
Did you go potty? The fucking dog.
That's what she does. She goes potty.
Going potty.
No.
We gotta go potty? That's what you say to the dog.
Yeah, you say
Dave, I would say that too.
Business.
Go potty. Go potty.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what my wife said.
Yeah.
I'm officially off the show.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, guys. I go off on tangents, and this is where it led.
It's good, though. I love tangents. And remember that story I told about Bailey? One time I let my dog out in the backyard at my old house, and granted I was high. I'd smoked fucking weed that night, but whatever. But I let Bailey out in the backyard. I was waiting for. I was watching, and I was calling her. I'm like, Bailey, come back, And then all of a sudden I heard a whisper. Fucking from like outside, from like maybe my next door neighbor, some other yard, and it went, Bailey. It whispered fucking Bailey.
It was Bailey.
The dog walk back inside.
It scared the fuck out of me.
You know what it was? It was you, Dave. You went, Bailey, come back inside. Bailey. And you're like, who the fuck said that? It was you the whole time.
It was me. Yeah. Dude, it's fucking spooked me out. Anyway, Annabelle. What the fuck? Crazy movie, but fun. I agree with you. See, it's fun. It is fun. It's just I like it, just not as much as I like Creation. That's all. I like that they bring back the notes. It's cool. There's more continuity here. Remember in the beginning of Creation with the writing of the notes and all that stuff, and Miss Me and all, and then they brought back the notes in this one. And the fucked up part, which was so cool, was then when they were asking for Annabelle at the door, and then she opened the door and fucking B was there.
Yeah.
She was actually, they brought her back. That was so cool.
She basically kicks it off. It's like Annabelle kicks off all the craziness here. She's the first one, to show up.
And then one scene with the shadow when it grows, when first you see little Annabelle, and then the other one, and then it got bigger, he turned into the creature. You never saw that before. It turned into the demon with the shadow. That was fucking cool. There were cool things here. I
actually do think it was scary. Just maybe not like, again,
rated R scary.
Gateway scary, I guess is the way.
That's a great way to put it, honestly.
But the most enjoyable for me of the series. It's the most fun. I have the most fun with the characters. I care about the characters the most here. And this is the most rewatchable one for me. But I'm not trying to take anything away from the second one. The second one was good to me. This one was my favorite. of the
And
batch.
I really do love the Warrens. I think, just Vera Farmiga and what is it, Patrick
Yeah.
Wilson. I think they have like the best chemistry ever as like couples on screen for me. So I do enjoy those parts. And that scroll at the beginning, I mean,
Yes.
I just get chill. Like that is so chilling to me. And it's literally just a scroll saying like the Warren house has this and that. But I don't know, that really creeps me out. So
The music.
yeah, this
too,
one
the
doesn't really
string
scare me.
instruments.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
I
good.
do think the titles of these films are actually really creative. I was a dumbass, and like
Was. I'm joking. I'm kidding.
Lacey, how come you don't yell at him when he makes a comment? I haven't said
Dan-
anything nearly that mean.
Oh, I got the look of
because
disappointment. That's
because
what I
you
got.
did not send Dan Chase a birthday message, and he did.
I sent them
Oh.
too.
He did.
Ooh,
Yeah, the other one was from me.
talk about overcompensating.
Wasn't. And so I have a bone to pick with you about that. Just like,
If it
Christian
makes you
goes
feel
back-
any better, I'm gonna send Thomas the birthday message.
Timothy.
Oh,
Lacey,
Watson.
I've been on her show. Well, you've been on her show too, B. So I guess I can't say anything. But that was just a look of disappointment. I got I expected so much more from you, Christian. I got like the
Nobody
like,
really expects anything from you. So.
It made me sad. I thought we were like close.
I'm gonna
But
show.
that's Brandon. Brandon doesn't answer fucking things. He was
I-
supposed to do a show with Watson, and he blew him off. He was messaging him in the morning. He never got the message. He
I
said.
blew Watson.
So, see,
No,
It's a
I
great
totally
episode.
forgot. In fact, Scott and I both forgot. Did Scott ever get one in? Crawford?
Oh no! How did you know?
Because we
he knows
both
everything.
forgot.
He's the host of the Friday Nightmares. Don't you know this yet?
Listen,
He's
I'm
unofficial.
a fly on the wall.
Really?
I know
I didn't
everything.
that.
I know I know everything that's going on. I'm Seth Brundlefly.
No, I was actually promoting the Friday Nightmares last night because we did an interview with the director and the lead actor of Mothers of Monsters, and I know that Scott really liked that movie, so I'm pretty sure they talked about it on their top 10 show, and because they commented on me and Dan's top 10 show, which I thought was really cool. And that's how, we kind of got talking. But the movie wasn't even in our top 10. She kind of even said, she's like, well, you guys didn't even announce this. But we really did enjoy the movie. And I was like, just because, we don't name a movie in our top 10 doesn't mean we did not find it enjoyable or that we won't promote it.
Yeah, plus you guys have really bad taste in films. So, I mean, there's that.
See, thank you for doing. Yeah, thank you for taking the heat off me. It's perfect.
No, I forgot what point
You were saying you were talking about the titles and how creative you thought the titles were in the movies, and you said you were being a dumbass, which is then what made me make a bad
I
joke.
do Dan Chase, so there is. I get it. No, I love you. I know people sometimes might think that's a crazy decision on my part, but he is my counterpart. So, no, I felt really dumb because, all right, so I just edited his birthday messages and I pop it on and I'm watching it and I didn't remember this film either. Like it was a creation. It was forgettable for me the first time I watched it. So I came up a lot on my rating on that. But I had this epiphany moment. I was like, oh, that's why it's called Creation. And then the same thing happened for Win. The same thing
That's
happened.
why it's come home.
Yeah. because it's home at the Warrens and that's where she's home now. Yeah.
Brandon did make this joke at the beginning of the review, and we just brushed it off no, it can't be that. And he was bang on.
I did.
That literally happened to me, though. I must have missed it. I'm more awake now than I was when he must have said that.
I like that not all ghosts are bad. I like the fact that she sees the ghost of the head of the school, and he ultimately plays a part in leading them at the end, leading her. She follows them at the end. And also the scene where Danielle is wearing the cursed dress, and it sort of breaks her out of this trance because the projector starts playing the exorcism scene, and it starts and it's playing over her. I really like that scene.
That was cool too.
Yeah.
There were good scenes. I just think that they went too far.
Yes.
Dan wanted me to make sure that I mentioned this. He said that he's pretty sure that the little girl that played the Warren, Judy, was you as a child.
Oh, that's so weird that you say that, because I was going to bring up that little girl and say, doesn't she look just like Kieran and Shipka?
Dan
thought
said
that
was- A little bit.
Dan
Yeah.
said that as well.
I thought it was her at first, and I was like, wait, that
she's
can't
in
be her.
everything.
She's
That
white.
little girl. She's a big actress. She's everywhere now. She's on TV
She's
shows
great.
and.
He said that he thought that's what you would have looked like as a child. Is that
Okay.
close?
No, not at all, but that's nice of him. She's
Carly looks like the girl from Walking Dead.
Which one?
There's a million girls.
Oh my God. I'll find out the girl's name.
I've been compared to many a people in my day.
No, you look exactly like this girl.
In the meantime, we should probably give our ratings. I don't know if there's I have nothing else personally.
Lydia.
No idea who that is.
It's Alpha's daughter. Alpha's daughter. You look exactly like her.
Let me see. I'm probably not going to agree, but.
I'll get into my rating, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the film. The first time watch. A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, I guess I do.
That's Carly to me.
Oh, I'm looking at my own.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong this time.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're
I guess.
minus.
But we were doing
minus
ratings.
minus
Yeah,
the proof.
sorry.
Right, yeah.
you're
No, I do. I think this one is fun. It is lighthearted. I do have like some issues with the happy ending because I wanted the Warrens. I'm hoping that in the next Conjuring it brings them back more full circle, right? I think that might be what's happening, but I'm not sure. I don't want them just like in a small section of the film like this. And they didn't really have anything. The girls solved the problem on their own by magically getting the case to close after all of them were pushing against it. I mean, it's fun. It is what it is. It feels like a slumber party movie. Like a gateway to horror. You're right. This is something that I would have brought to the slumber party when I was a kid and had my friends watch it. I think if I was 12, I would have really dug this film. So yeah, I think I'm at like a 6.5.
Oh, not bad.
I just really didn't like that first fucking movie.
Yep, makes sense.
Carly?
Yeah, I definitely like this one. Like I said, I think it's more fun than anything. I like all the characters. I like that you do have the Warrens in it. And I love how all these movies tie together too. It's just cool. But like I said, it's just fun for me. I don't really find it that scary. I do think the coin scene is probably the creepiest for me personally, but everything else doesn't really frighten me too much. And I like the dad aspects. Like I said, they made me emotional. But I give this a 7.5 out of 10.
Right on. Look at this. We continue to be in sync. Two more observations quickly. I thought it was dumb that the girl saw Annabelle when she was supposed to be still in the cage. The main girl, the little girl, the Warren, whatever the hell the name is. And didn't say anything to anybody about it. She looked under the bed and there's Annabelle, and she's like, oh, well, I guess that's supposed to be there. I didn't get it because the shit hadn't hit the fan yet at that point where Annabelle would be out. So I thought that was weird. And the girl looking at the TV, if that was me in that situation, I would not continue to fucking look to the right and left. Because especially when bad things are starting to happen. Why would you emulate that? If anything, I would run to the door, put my body on the other side of the door just like this against it, and keep yelling help till somebody let me out. But that's just me.
Are you Mrs. Mullins? You're crucifying yourself?
Yeah. and I couldn't help but think when the one kid said, "There's only one way to woo." I immediately thought of Ric Flair, and I went, "Woo!" right in my fucking living room.
He's a woo-hoo guy.
So you are a woo girl.
I'm a woo guy.
Oh,
I'm a woo
yeah.
girl. Yep.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Woo! Of course, man. So anyway, all in all, it was a fun movie. I like it a tad bit more than I did in the past. I know I said more negatives than positives, but it was good, and I had the same rating once again as Carly, 7.5. Boom.
Well, what do you rate Judy? Or not Judy, the Daniela?
Yeah.
0.
I've seen worse.
I thought you were going to
worse,
give it a low rating
but
because of her.
She's pretty shitty, but I've had worse than that. And at least she did nice things at the end and made a sad girl happy. So she did something. But although I did find it ridiculous that right towards the end, she goes, "Okay, guys, now let's get out of here. You guys want to go somewhere else?" I'm like, "Now, bitch? Now you asked to go somewhere else?"
Now, bitch.
He's so mean.
Anyway,
Man, well, I said it was my favorite. I was at 5.57. This is an 8 out of 10 for me. It's the most enjoyable. It's just fun. Like I said, I'm being repetitious because I've said my piece already. 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
And your
I'm right
daughter
there with
likes
you. I line up with Christian. 8 out of 10. The most fun of the three. It's the same rating for Creation because Creation came up, but this one, man, I have a blast with it. I could watch it over and over. I've seen it 3 times now, and I love it. And that scene in the TV, that quick flash where you see Daniela screaming and covered in blood, almost like Carrie.
Yeah.
I wish that would have happened. It would have been a great ending to her.
But I love Daniela. 10 out of 10 for Daniela. And 10 out of 10 for Mary Ellen also.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how much that girl grew in 3 years. The girl from part 1, the Lulu Wilson, whatever her name is, from Annabelle Creation was 2017, and you see her in Becky in 2020. Looks like she's 6 years older instead of 3. It's crazy. But I was thinking of that watching that yesterday.
Forgetting that's her.
Now, are you a woo-woo girl or a Lulu girl?
Well, I'm a Lulu.
Yeah, Lacy Lulu can woo-woo. At video.
Have you guys got Lululemon there yet? Canadian company. It's huge here.
No,
Yes, we have. Yes, we have Lululemon.
So, go fuck yourself.
So anyway,
I prefer Lulu Lime.
My daughter, same sort of thing. I don't know what her exact ratings were, but she liked them in the exact same order. The first one was her least favorite. Thought Annabelle didn't even realize there's 2 sequels. So when I told her we were doing this, she wanted to watch them, and she enjoyed Annabelle Creation, but she thought Annabelle Comes Home was the most enjoyable.
How old is your daughter?
15.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the right age for this movie to get the full enjoyment.
Who was it though?
Like Jason Lives. It's a slumber
party.
party.
Who was it who asked for all that information?
The Ram Man. The Ram Man asked for all of it.
Love you, B. That was awesome.
I don't get it.
He was being a dick.
Okay. Go back.
He was being a dick. He just said, I didn't want to hear all that stuff about your daughter.
I was like, who was it who asked for you?
I did. I asked the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
We're friends again.
See? That's all it takes.
But never let me do that dance again.
No, I will always let you do that dance.
So now, I think it's an underrated franchise, if you will. The Annabelle movies. It seems like they're not spoken of very, very highly, but I think it's, I don't know, the way we watched them today and what we said, I think it doesn't get the credit that it deserves. It's actually a pretty decent little series. So, but anyway, we do have to get out of here. It's going to be that time. We have to thank Lacy and Carly once again. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with Slumber Party Massacre. And is there anything you'd like to plug before we get out of here?
Hey, can't say that.
I mean, just cut to the chase. We're doing Alfred Hitchcock retrospectives. If anybody wants to get on those, not you, Brandon, but
good evening.
You would say no anyways. But if you guys if that's something that anybody's interested in, like, hit me up. We'll make something happen. And
Dark Discussions Network, right?
Yep, Dark Discussions Network, and then the Slumber Party is recording a week. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what movie.
Brandon be in that one?
Because I want to keep that stuff a surprise. You know.
I want to have a pillow fight.
Jason Lives.
No.
Jason Lives belongs on that, by the way. It is the Slumber Party of the Friday the 13th franchise.
Is that part 6?
Yep. It's definitely the kids movie, like this is. 100%.
Well, you know it's like my least favorite one, right?
It's not one of my favorites. That's why it's okay. I don't hate it. But.
Well, maybe I'll give it a rewatch. Who knows?
In the top 6.
But that show.
Becca there, she'll blow it. Believe me.
Slumber Party Massacre episode 2 will be dropping mid March.
Nice.
Yeah. So what she just said about Slumber Party Massacre, and then his and hers, we just recorded. What do? We did Saint Maud was the latest episode, and we're not sure what we're gonna do next, but so that will be out soon, I believe, the Saint Maud one. I don't think that one because we did like 2 back to back, and I think the episode 54 just posted, which I believe that was Psycho Goreman that we did. Fun movie, I will say that.
Yes.
But yeah, so we did Saint Maud, and that's about it. That's about it for me.
Cool. Well, thank you again.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
This
for
was
coming,
fun.
guys.
Yes.
Of course.
Anytime. And when I
We'll do
say
it again.
anytime, I mean
Or thing.
never again.
Brandon, do you want I think you want attention with that hair. Like I can't stop. You just
I
always
literally,
have something
I literally
going on.
cannot see right now.
Awesome. Keep it coming. You look like fucking Cousin It soon. Keep it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you everybody also for listening. Thanks again to our guests. We love everybody. We love you all. Next show 136, we're going to be back to the old format, the old new format, old and a new.
Monchichi,
So,
Monchichi.
yep, we'll see what that is. And yes, Monchichi, Monchichi. We're out.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys.
Bye.